So today we're going to do a reaction video, and this is my first reaction video that I'm going to be doing. So I wanted to do something a little bit different, and this time I'm going to be bringing my niece with me. So this is Ava,
I
and we're going to react today to the Jubilee video, which is the Fat or Fit video. And I've been wanting to do this for a couple weeks, but I've been having some dental issues, and I went to the dentist today, and I'm not feeling great, but I'm feeling much better than I have been for the past couple weeks. So today is a good day to do it. So I wanted to go ahead and get that filmed, and this is the first time she's watching it. I've watched it before, so I kind of have some thoughts on it. So I think it's going to be kind of good to get her initial reaction to it, and we're just going to see how it goes. So I hope you guys like it.
Do you think just being in a fat body and being in the public space encourages obesity?
Yes.
Shame is what led me to an eating disorder.
Whose
when
fault is that,
what
though?
we're looking for is
Whose fault is that?
stability.
That's your
It's-
fault.
It's
See,
an
the problem is that you're a
amalgamation.
professional victim.
Would you agree, like looking at his physique, like he's at a perfectly, I would say, maybe healthy.
No,
I think
he's definitely overweight, definitely obese.
My name's John. I host the Radical Empathy podcast. I used to direct.
At my own
To live that bad.
Word manifestation of your inadequacies.
When I see
You're less valuable.
great start. I mean, I know why you say that, but it's one of those things where, do you know why you're saying that?
Yes, because I've been fat before and I lost the weight.
Well, me too. I've been fat my whole life. I've been way skinnier than I am now, and I've been way heavier than I am now. Was I less valuable at one point in there?
Well, I mean, you can make an argument that you're less valuable when you're fatter because you drain resources, but that's
So, what's your opinion on that? Was he less valuable when he was fat compared to someone who was in shape?
well, it really depends. Like, what was he doing with his life? Because there's different. I don't think someone loses worth just because they're fat. It really depends. Like, were they just completely lazy, or were they like?
So, you're judging it based on not about their weight. You're basing it on what they're doing with their life in general. So, you're saying like an obese doctor is worth more than an in shape someone who's sitting around doing nothing.
Yeah, because at least like they may be fat, but they could be saving lives. So
Right.
in that way, they are more valuable than the lazy person doing nothing.
Right. I would agree with that.
I don't think you can judge someone just based off of their weight. I think there's more to take into consideration.
Right. Yeah, because I mean, I don't know what any of these fit in shape guys do other than just being on the show. I haven't
Yeah.
researched any of these people. But
They
if
could
they're
be
just
terrible.
yeah, if they're just in the gym all day taking steroids and doing whatever, and these other people are lawyers and doctors and whatever, who is more valuable? Like that's kind of how you would judge people. That's
Yeah.
how I would judge people.
Like if someone's super fit, but like just a terrible person, just a complete douche, and then the fat person is like out there making a difference, then I guess the fat person would be more valuable.
Right. Yeah, that totally makes sense to me.
It's a whole other conversation. But yeah, I mean, in general, being fat is unacceptable because you control every single morsel of food that goes into your mouth.
Okay.
It shows a lack of discipline, it shows a lack of character, it shows a lack of temperance, and when you're fat, it's an outward manifestation of your inadequacies.
When I see somebody who's 500 or 600 pounds, all I can think of is why do they care so little about their health that they can do this, allow themselves to gain that much weight, knowing it's taken 20, 30, 40 years off their life? I just can't.
Now, there is a difference too, like between somebody who is obese, morbidly obese, and then they have these other terms that are like people who are called like super fat, those people, that is a different level of fat. That's like the people who are like 5, 6, 700 pounds. Those people who are on like my 600 pound life, that's a different level.
Mm-hmm.
are those people less valuable than,
Well,
because those people aren't working.
yeah,
they're just
you look at them and they do nothing but sit and eat.
they're literally bedbound. Like
Yeah.
they have to be
Then
cut out of their houses. You
they're
know,
le-
like
they're less valuable.
yeah, that's just ridiculous. And I understand that there's a lot of that's a mental problem.
Yeah, but also like how can the people around you allow you to get to that stage? I think they're also in the wrong.
Yeah,
They should be
absolutely.
trying to get you help when you're already heading that direction.
And that's why, like, I know a lot of people make reaction videos, and this is the first reaction video I've done. And the reason why is I have a really low tolerance for that, for like my 600-pound life, and for just a lot of like the fat positive people in general, just because I can't stand the excuses and I can't stand the the bullshit from like the enabler people that are like the family members, like the my 600-pound life family members. Like there's these bedbound people and their mom or their wife or their husband is like bringing them McDonald's and bringing
Yeah.
them food. Like what the fuck are you doing?
Like,
You know,
why are
like
you making it worse?
right. And they have
It's
like
like
no, I don't know, they're like just enablers. And I'm like I don't know. I can't stand watching it, so I don't want to react to it because my reactions are just going to be like,
yeah.
what the F the
But
whole
all
time.
those fat people have husbands and wives, so
Yeah.
good for them.
Yeah, I guess. They're doing a lot better than a lot of the thin people, I guess. You talk about like a thin person can't get them to get a lot of there's a lot of thin people that can't get someone to bring them breakfast in bed. So
Exactly. So
Can't imagine not wanting to live that badly.
I understand that. No, it's I've definitely felt disgusted looking at my own body and looking at other fat bodies in my life. A lot of the disgust I felt looking at people was me feeling disgusted with myself.
have you ever felt disgusted looking at other fat bodies?
I think everyone has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And it also depends on how bad it is, because it gets to a point where I'm not really disgusted, but I feel more bad for them. I also don't know their situation, so I can't say anything.
Right. And it's funny because even when I was morbidly obese, I had no interest in dating anybody else who was like morbidly obese. Like it was kind of like not attractive to me. I never thought I was attractive to anybody else either. And so why would I don't know, I was never attracted to it. Um, I never thought I was ugly. Like I always had a good looking face, but I just never, I just didn't think I had a good body. Um,
I also don't
but
understand, like, people who are attracted to fat.
right, like who are like who love the
Yeah,
fat,
and then
right,
they, like, continue to make that person fat, like,
right,
on purpose,
like
because they
those
think,
feeders.
yeah, because they think they like the fat. And it's like, I don't understand why you would want your partner to be unhealthy.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of people who have these weird fetishes and just weird ideas of what's attractive, and I don't know. There's a lot of mental people out there these days. So you've got to keep you away from them.
And then projecting that feeling onto other people. And I don't think anyone on either side will disagree that health is important. I know that my own mental health was way worse when I was spending every fixate of my life trying to get smaller and trying to be thinner.
I don't think there's anyone that can look at somebody 500, 600, 700 pounds and not think, wow, what have they done? And not be disgusted. Like, how can you not? I just can't understand
You can't
nobody
assume that
thinking
everyone
that.
has the same opinion, though, because unfortunately, some people have emotional stuff that happened, traumatic stuff that's happened, so you can't discount and just say, oh,
Boo-hoo,
because they're
man.
fat.
Boo-hoo, man. Like,
I mean, I have seen this video before. So my first initial reaction when I saw the guy from Fresh and Fit, my first initial reaction was that he was a dickhead. And some of his takes are very dickheadish, but and I think although the way he says things are not the way I would say it, I think that he's not wrong.
That he makes good points.
He makes good points. It's just the way he says it is not helpful to
I-
fat people. Like,
I can see where he's coming from.
yeah,
But like, there's better ways to phrase it.
right. Like like for example, if say I don't know if he's a trainer or what he is, but if someone were to come to him and want help, instead of him saying you're a fat slob and a loser and you'll never gonna amount to anything, you know, why can't he say, you know, obviously what you're doing is not working for you. There's a better way you can do it.
Yeah, let's
You know,
figure out what you're doing wrong
like,
and fix it.
I mean, they know obviously that what they're doing is not working. I think that just his approach is
Yeah,
just very
just pointing that out isn't
wrong.
gonna help.
No.
There's way worse stuff going out in the world versus people
Absolutely.
saying, "Oh my God, I'm sad. I'm gonna eat some ice cream." It's like, no, dude. It's like you're fat. You made that decision. You live in the best country ever. If you live in a civilized first world country where you have electricity, internet power, etc., you deserve to be bullied. It's ridiculous to me that we have all these fat people running around. Meanwhile, people are being bombed in Gaza. It's ridiculous. We are so privileged here in the United States and in the West in general. When I see a fat person, I'm like, wow. You got the gift of life. You got the gift of being in a developed country, and you're a fat POS talking about body positivity on TikTok? What the hell is going
But now
on
you're
here?
segmenting though, because not everyone thinks like that. What do you
No, we
call
need
it,
to bring
blended?
shaming back.
Okay.
We need to bring shaming back in so many other regards.
I know you want to say something. Say something now. See, those are the things that when this is your first time watching it, so I'm glad you're probably thinking the same thing I thought when I first saw it.
I don't think you should bully people for that. I think there's better ways to go about it, and I think there's ways to help people. And like I said earlier, why would your family let you get to that point? Anyone like who cares about you should already be trying to get you that help or talk to you about it. And like, there's nice ways to intervene and help people like fix their lifestyle. And even you yourself, why would I don't know. It's something like if I feel like if I started getting to that point, I would reach out for help. But also, it's something hard to do, I feel.
Yeah, a lot of people don't.
Yeah.
They don't. I never did. And when I did when I was 30, and then it took an additional 8 years before I actually did it. You know, and so there was a long time before I actually did anything about it. So there, it's hard to do, and I think for men and women, you're young, so I wouldn't allow anybody to talk to you like that, and try and shame you in that way. But I think for men, like, well, maybe not men today. Men today are a little different than we were raised a little bit differently. Like, men today would probably collapse or something, or
Yeah,
need
that's
therapy.
another thing. It's like how people are being raised.
Right. So back in the day, we could play sports or play games with people, and people could like make fun of you and bully you, and you didn't take it so seriously where you needed like
We still
therapy.
do that.
What?
I do that all the time.
Right.
Especially with my friends and stuff.
So I think that what they're trying to say is like shame, like when you get older, like men can shame each other on a different level than when you're a kid. Like, so it gets a little bit harder, like more harsh. So he's, of course, he's on level 10. Like he's on a level 10 shame. I would say maybe you take it to a level 7 instead of a level 10. But I understand what he's saying. Like they're like if Walter were to say something to me and be harsher with me, I could take it more. Or if a friend were to say it to me and be harsh with me, I could take it. And I would accept it, and it wouldn't like make me hate them, or wouldn't make me be upset or cry or anything like that. And I wouldn't consider it bullying, but it is a form of shame. You know, they are like shaming you. It's almost making you wake up like, what the fuck am I doing? You know, like I am being a moron. Could be better than what I am right now. You know, it's like it takes somebody to kind of open your eyes to what you're doing. You know, I think that's kind of what he's saying, but he's just doing it in a very douchey way.
yeah, he's
So-
not coming across that way.
No.
regards besides obesity. We need to do it with sluts. We need to shame fat
Jesus.
people. We need to shame everybody when they fuck up. Because shame has been one of the strongest defenses against degeneracy and human fuck ups.
You had a personal experience you wanted to share. You said you used to be overweight. Now you're
Oh
not.
yeah. So I did an experiment back in like.
So when I see somebody, a drug addict on,
Doesn't matter.
Let's not get.
And this is gonna be a long video, so I'm just gonna let everybody know. But society in general, we have let, and I don't care, this is my channel. If people don't want to unsubscribe, they can unsubscribe. But in general, I feel that our society has gotten way too liberal with what we think is okay.
Those dirty liberals.
It's not just about like liberal. I'm talking about liberal politics, but I'm just talking about, and I'm gay and I'm open-minded, but the fact that we are too open-minded with our kids and what we allow kids to think is okay and what we expose kids to at young ages, and I think it's just inappropriate how society thinks that it's okay to expose people to certain things and that it's okay. And if you try to stop them, they shame you into saying that you are
Yeah.
horrible.
Yeah.
And we also have to remember too that there's a lot of parents out here that are mental cases,
Yeah.
and
I
they
know.
use their children for clout on the internet and to get TikTok followers and to get sympathy and to get attention and all kinds of shit.
Get too granular right now. Ragini, it's going to be one of those episodes, right?
The knowledge and everything else like that. It's just about consistency.
People that, even if they work out, losing the weight does not come as simple as just of health. They are with the tools. People are very much.
The knowledge and everything else like that. It's just about consistency.
those same skills you had was to like have that muscle. And say I never want 50, 200 pounds. So when I see somebody, I know that there's opportunity for growth. Do I think they've been putting a drug addict on the street?
Doesn't matter.
Let's not get too granular right now. Ragini, it's going to be one of those episodes, right? Let's bring in the disagreeers and hear from them.
Okay, so the reason I disagreed, especially when I heard the statement, I don't think I'll ever look at somebody based on their situation and think that I'm disgusted. Like, if I see somebody that's a drug addict on the street that's homeless, I'm not disgusted by that. If I see somebody that's incredibly overweight, I'm not disgusted by that. Do I think that there's an opportunity?
People that, even if they work out, losing the weight does not come as simple as just people that, even if you know nothing.
Too directly. You
Nah,
definitely.
I mean, I'm not offended. It's fine.
You for size, like, come on, you are, but you're over that. I'm not at people that you are passing judgment on people who lack the tools to do what it is that they need to do to get themselves to a certain point of health. There are multitudes of factors that weighs into what goes on with somebody's body. There are people that, even if they work out, losing the weight does not come as simple as just going to the gym, cutting calories, watching everything that you eat. There are some people that have a disposition. I have a disposition. But does that mean that I'm not active? Does that mean that I'm not doing certain things? No, it doesn't. But you're passing judgment on somebody's body that you know nothing about. Now, on the flip side, what if I turned around and I did the same thing to you? You're talking about how fit and stuff that you are, but you're over there and you're smallest compared to these other guys. So how does that feel if someone comes? No, because you said
I know,
shame,
but
right?
that's a little.
You said shame, right?
Yeah.
So how does that feel if someone comes up and they start shaming you for size? Like, come on, it goes both ways.
Well, but then it's also like maybe he just doesn't want to be that big. He's still fit
Right.
and healthy.
But I understand like what he's saying too.
Yeah.
Like if the ultimate body was to be huge, like
Yeah.
the bodybuilder
I
guy,
couldn't imagine.
like if that was like the ultimate goal, and the other guys weren't that, and then they should be shamed, just like they say that the other guys should be shamed. We should be shaming them into being
Perfect.
bodybuilders. You know, like just because you're skinny, because they're thin and they're in shape, but they're not bodybuilders. So we should shame them into being bodybuilders.
But then there's also like being a bodybuilder doesn't always mean that that's super healthy.
No, it's not. Actually, it's not healthy at all.
Yeah, there's a healthy in between.
The
where,
the
like,
the healthiest people on that stage are probably the three thin guys. The host,
I just know that his name is Greg. I don't know the others.
no, the Greg guy is the bodybuilder, the first older guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know who the. I just
thought
call him
his-
Fresh Fit.
I thought his name was Greg.
But then
Could've sworn.
and then the probably the three guys there, and then yeah, those are probably the fittest people on the whole stage. The one guy in the front, his name is Greg. He's like the older bodybuilder, and he's he used to be much bigger, but he has gotten small because he can't lift like he used to because he doesn't take steroids anymore. So he's probably technically healthier than he was when he was taking steroids. But who knows what that shit does to your body? I'm sure it's not good.
Definitely not.
But I would say, yeah, those three guys are probably the healthiest out of anybody else on the whole stage. Like I always say, like people always are like, "Oh, it's good to be big," you know, because I always say I want to be super skinny. Like if I get to choose a body type, it would be one of those. Actually, not the Asian guy. It would be one of those two. Probably the guy in the gray shirt. Like I would like to be that size because that to me is like healthy. Is to be that thin, that small frame. But
But
that's,
then, like, there's also people who just have larger chests. and
yeah, I'm
stuff,
just have a
like
big
you.
frame. I just
You have a
can't.
bigger chest.
I can't do it. Even when I was my thinnest, I could still see all my ribs, but I was still big.
Yeah, and that's just your body.
Yeah.
size. Your big boned.
Even 20, if I lost 20 pounds, I'd see all my ribs again, but I still can't. Still can't get small.
Just in the first
So,
prompt, we got to be
here's the
careful
thing.
about targeting each other too directly. You
Nah, I
definitely.
mean, I'm not offended. It's fine. He's emotional,
no, it goes
and that's fine.
in every direction.
He's obviously very triggered. But
And Greg mentioned some health implications with being overweight or obese.
Yeah.
I think being concerned might be a better.
That's the word I was
you know,
going
a
to
better
go for.
word.
Like
but-
I can show concern for someone for the way that they are, but I would never look at someone and say like you're disgusting.
But is it any
Like,
different than if you see somebody who's extremely anorexic, they're 50 pounds, you look at them and you're in shock? Oh my God, like something happens in your body you can't control. You can't stop that. Like
could
how
be a-
can
there
you
could be a
not?
shock
It's not, I don't
factor, but
hate them.
that's different
It's just
from-
wow, oh my God, it's like it's disgusting. Like holy goodness
But
gracious,
why
that's a
would
shock
you
factor,
use
though.
the
That's
word
not-
disgusting,
that's not
right?
disgusting.
So you just mentioned the polar opposite of what we are, right? But why would you look at them and be disgusted versus concerned? That is a very specific word, and it has very specific connotations behind it. And when it's used, it's somewhat weaponized as well.
I don't think we can help how we feel. I don't think I can choose like, oh, I just am not. It would be sitting here and lying. I'm not going to sit here and lie. I'm always going to be honest with people. I'm disgusted. This is just how I feel.
the thing is, when you see a fat person, the reason why it's disgusting and the reason why there's so much pushback on this whole body positivity and people make fun of Lizzo, rightfully so, by the way, is because it's unattractive, it's unhealthy. Until we had this woke era, they used to put like models and attractive people on the cover of magazines that were in shape. Why? So that people can aspire to look like that.
And
Okay.
I don't think that's right at all.
What's that?
There's people who do find it attractive, and they'll continue to feed their partners.
They do. And
I think that's wrong,
Like-
though. I don't know why you would want your partner to be unhealthy.
no, I don't
And,
like that
to
either.
suffer like that.
But the one thing about like models, like
Oh, that's unhealthy too, though.
it is unhealthy. But I do think that there was something to models that we don't have anymore. And there was something to that I miss. And I don't know, I don't find fat or out of shape models, I don't find it attractive. I don't want to, I mean, God, this is going to sound terrible. I might have to cut this out. But I don't want to see them modeling clothes. Like, I don't want to buy clothes that are that are modeled on a fat body. Like I just don't want to buy that.
I think there's an in between. I don't think there should be like those giant models,
Right.
but also like there's some that have like
Like average bodies, okay, fine.
or like
yes.
the cute amount of chub, because there is a
Yes.
healthy medium where it's like a cute amount of
Yes.
chub, but not too much chub.
But then there's
Like
also
dad bods on the right person, that can be cute.
yes. But then there's also okay, that's fine if you're selling at J.C. Penney. And you know, or if you're selling like average clothes. But if you're selling a brand that's supposed to be aspirational, like if I'm selling something at like Gucci or something that I don't even know brands I can't afford. So if you're selling an aspirational brand,
Okay.
it should be an aspirational model.
Yes,
selling
but
it.
I've also seen people who have a little bit of chub who are so much prettier and so much
Aspirational.
hotter than the super skinny, unhealthy, starved people. And like they're just like, even though they have that little bit of chub and they're a little
Right.
like boxy,
Like
They're so
out of the
much prettier,
celebrities,
and
like
they're
a
so much
like
cuter.
a female celebrity, who do you think who do you think has a good body?
Well, I don't really pay attention to celebrities, to be honest.
No, that's okay. We don't have to worry about that then.
Yeah.
Because there's another video that I want to do a reaction to.
Oh.
It's well, we'll do that next reaction then, and the next time.
What is it?
It's about bodies. It's like a
Like body types and stuff?
yeah, like what body types do you think are the best?
Okay.
So we'll do a reaction on that one next time. But let's continue on.
And it's healthy and it looks better in general. You look good, feel good. But when you're fat, it says a lot about you. People aren't going to sit there and be like, let me see if he's a good person. No, they're just going to assume that you're lazy, which you are, by the way, when you're fat, and you don't have discipline, which you are, by the way. So they're just going to assume off of what they see. That's the world that we live in.
I love how you just you stated a shit ton of assumptions. You did.
Lazier when you're
Okay,
fat.
I get that, but I brought this up to you earlier when we were like talking about things to talk about. There was this girl, she was in 3rd grade. I saw her on my bus every day at my old school. She couldn't help it. The doctors couldn't figure out why. They couldn't help her, and she ate healthy. She was plenty active, but because of some condition she had, she could not lose weight, and she just kept gaining and gaining and gaining. Like she had shin fat and everything. Like she just couldn't help it. And I understand that's rare, but you don't know people's situation, and you shouldn't judge them just because they're fat. It could not be their fault. A lot of the time it is, but it might not be. And she's going to be looked down upon and shamed her whole life because of something she can't control. And she's in 3rd grade, and people were already making fun of her, and it's terrible.
Yeah, it is terrible.
And like she couldn't help it. Like she tried. She was healthy and everything. She couldn't lose weight.
Yeah, it's a shame. She's like 8 years old.
Yeah,
You
and
know?
just because you're fat doesn't mean you're lazy.
No.
You never know what someone is going through or what their condition is, and they could just be lazy. They could, but you don't know.
I'm trying to think of when I was 8 years old. I was probably lazier than normal, I would say. Yeah,
that
probably was.
I don't think you had a condition.
No, I didn't have any condition. I mean, other than, I mean,
Didn't state not one fact.
is there a condition of
You just stated assumptions.
I want to move on to the next prompt, but we're
Could
definitely.
I say one thing? Just one question. Like, let's say you knew he used to be 600 pounds, and how much you weigh now?
I'm 384.
And he's 384. Do you see him as less disgusting knowing he's lost 220 pounds? or
No,
not?
that's fantastic.
I
but
think yes,
there's still
less.
work to be done. But here's the thing, like I said before, unfortunately, human beings judge a book by its cover. It's just the world that we live in. Fat people, people that identify as 97 genders, whatever, they expect us to change our worldview for them, and that's just not how the world works. Like it's been that way. It's always going to be that way.
Worldview? That's
he just has like
He just keeps bringing random things
he has
in.
opinions about everything, and I do like that though, because
I kind of love how he's just like randomly just throwing things
Yeah.
in. Like, why? What was the point?
I don't know. He just has opinions about it. I mean,
also,
I have opinions
he-
about shit too.
He's a
but
little harsh with his opinions, though.
it's like we're talking about weight loss. We kind of went into that too. Like we have
Yeah.
we have opinions about shit. I don't know.
It spreads.
but I don't get.
We
It's
gotta,
just the
we
world
gotta
that we're in.
reset.
Like people are gonna,
Yeah, it's different. Yeah, my bad.
Now let's reset. Jacked men are more attractive than fat men. Will the agreeers?
Okay.
What was the question?
And the question is, jacked men are more attractive than fat men.
Okay, well, there's different levels of fat. Like I said,
And there's
a
different
little
levels
bit
of
earlier.
jacked too.
Yeah,
Like
we were
I don't
talking
think
about,
too jacked is
like
attractive.
some of those bodybuilders, I could never like, ugh.
Nope.
But there's certain amounts of fat that are cute, and then there's also certain amounts of
Chub
I guess
that are
fat
okay.
or chub
Yes.
that are cute. You don't need to be like the fittest person to be cute or
No.
hot or whatever. But also like some chub is kind of like teddy bear vibes, you know?
Yeah.
And there's to a point where like that's, you know,
Yeah. I agree.
you don't need to be itty bitty to be.
You have to work the look.
Yeah.
It's if you have to know how to work that look.
Yeah.
You can't
if
be
you're,
sloppy
if you're
fat
and wearing disgusting
and
clothing,
sloppy. No.
then you look
If
bad.
if you can rock the look, you're okay.
Yeah. If you look good with that dad bod, you know?
Yes. And there's some people who do. Like if you have the right like facial hair and the right, clothes to go with it but if you're just like if you're sloppy and you don't like bring it up with other things, then it's just sloppy all from head to toe. Like that's not good.
And then it's also like, and then there's the overly jacked people. And then also, I
No.
hate those muscle shirts that they always wear.
Yeah, like yeah.
Why do you wear it down to here? Like, there's no need for that. Just
No.
wear normal
I mean, if
shirts.
I had amazing traps, I would probably do that too, but
I would hate you.
don't. So my traps are all full of stretch marks. But yeah, I would probably do that, but no. Actually, I probably wouldn't. No, I probably would.
I would hate
I
you.
don't know. I would-
Especially if you wore that out.
I never had a body that was like not covered in stretch marks, so I wouldn't know what I would do. But
I would never wear that ever, even if I was like the fittest person ever.
I would probably cut grass shirtless all the time if I had a body like that. I probably would. Yeah, I probably would.
Just show it off.
No, I don't know. Since sometimes shit flies up from the lawnmower and hits you. I don't know.
No,
I probably still would though.
I despise that though when you're just like you have it, that's great, but you don't need to show your bare skin all the time.
Yeah.
Like you can show it off with tighter tops. Those can look good, but you don't need to have those disgusting muscle shirts that go all the way down.
Yeah. I know.
Like it looks ugly. So like there's also ways to dress when you're super fit. Also, I just think overly jacked is ugly anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. To me, it says that you care
Too much.
more about yourself than anybody else.
Yeah, I think
You
there's
know, it's
like
kind of a thing.
There's like a scale from like here to here, and then like from here to here is cute.
Yeah, I agree.
And then like there's the fit, and then there's the in between, and then there's
Like the
little bit
host of the
chub.
show, he's fit. You
Yeah.
can tell he's fit. He has a good body underneath that shirt.
And he's wearing a normal shirt.
Yeah,
And
he
he's
doesn't.
not-
He doesn't have to show anything off. Like
Yeah.
you can tell he's in shape.
Yeah. And he doesn't look like a douche.
Right.
Just please step forward.
How come there's 4 guys over there? All right, so we're living in a bizarro world where people don't see the truth. Like, how is it possible that they're thinking, no, being obese and unhealthy is more attractive than being fit and healthy? How is this possible?
I don't think being obese is hot at all.
Right.
I think that is unhealthy, and I think these people, I think they need help. You know, I don't think they're like terrible people or anything for it. You know?
No.
I mean, it's not something you can really like get mad at them for, I guess. I think it's like get them a good schedule, try and help them lose that, you know? It's not something to really completely judge that person over.
No, and the thing that kind of makes it unattractive for me is not, I mean, the physical aspect is part of it, but it's the, that there's going to be a personality difference if somebody who's like morbidly obese, like they're not going to have the same interests as me. Like I don't want to do nothing all day every day. Like
I like going outside on hikes and stuff.
Right.
But like if someone's obese, they're probably not gonna like
No.
that.
Exactly.
And it's like it's like if 2 obese people, they might find each other attractive
Right.
based off personality, things they like, and that's perfectly fine. Not the being obese part, but like
Yeah, I mean it's fine. I mean, I don't care what people do.
yeah.
But
I just think I don't know. I'm still on that train where I'm like, I feel like family should step in.
Right.
Friends. They should be like, you need to get your stuff together. Like, you need to figure this out.
Yeah.
And if you are unable to figure your stuff out, then they have to help you, or they should help you at least. I
They
guess
can-
it's not really. They shouldn't be obligated to do it, but I feel like they should. They're your family.
Yeah, they can try,
If
but
they care, they should at least try.
if they listen, that's
Yeah.
the problem.
Yeah, some people just won't. You can't help someone who won't.
And they
let
get all
you.
super offended.
Yeah, I think that's a little much.
Precisely why a majority of women find a majority of men as unattractive. Because a lot of guys think this way, oh, I just be a nice guy and girls are gonna like me. No, they're not. She's not gonna suck your dick with the same veracity when you're a fat f- as when you're in shape. She's just not. See, people don't understand that women are aroused by one thing and they're attracted by another thing. Women are attracted to, a guy that's confident, ambitious, makes money, etc. Of course, right? But they're aroused by guys that have asshole tendencies, dark triad traits, etc., and guys that are physically in shape. So if you want to get the best of your woman, where she respects and admires you, while simultaneously being aroused by you, so she doesn't cheat on you, you need to have it all.
You're saying that's true for all women?
A majority, a staggering majority of women.
Cheating. I don't think cheating is good no matter what. I don't think you should ever cheat on someone.
No, but I understand what he's saying to a point. That's why I think like when you're in a relationship, I think it's important that you have to take care of yourself. I think the most disrespectful thing you can do to your partner is to let yourself go. Because when you were dating and you were trying to attract that person, what you were doing was you were making yourself look cute, going out, like,
And you stop trying to get.
and
their
then you get that
approval,
person,
or, like,
and then you stop,
yeah.
and then you gain weight, and then you stop trying to make yourself look cute, and then all this stuff happens. How is that fair to that person? Like,
Yeah, but then there's also like, what if that person fell into a mental health spiral, and then you're also you're their partner. You're obligated to at least try and help them.
to a point.
To a point.
To a point.
To a point.
Remember, because somebody's mental health spiral
Yeah.
is only your responsibility for
Yeah,
a
and
limited
then,
amount of time.
Like we said before, if they won't let you help them, then
Right.
that's a thing too.
Then you got to roll out.
Yeah.
Because
But I don't think that's ever an excuse to cheat. Just leave them if you think about cheating
Right.
on them. You have to leave them.
right, it's time to move on. Because there's no point in being in that relationship.
Yeah.
If you want a monogamous relationship, that's just two people. If you're going to cheat, then just move on. Because that relationship's over at that point.
I also think it's really funny when guys push for like an open relationship and don't seem to realize that the girl's gonna be able to get way more men than the man can get women.
Oh yeah, they easily.
And then they like feel terrible about it and start trying to close it again.
Right. It's so stupid.
It's like, bro, you pushed so hard for an open relationship, thinking that she just wouldn't go out. Did you think it was only for you?
Right. Well, that's what the thought probably was at first.
Women.
There might be 1% of the world that there's something wrong with them that might think that, yeah, you're 600 pounds, it's so hot, I love that, but
The hot girls that you actually want, they exercise their hypergamy to the highest degree, and they want guys that are fit and have their money together, have their life together.
You're looking at me like you want to say something.
Yeah, because the question was, are Jack men more?
Okay, well,
Remember
then
when I
there's
told you
also-
before?
Hold on.
If,
There's
remember,
also
remember when I told you guys before when you said that you wanted you said something about marrying a rich man or something so you could like stay home and not work. And
I
I said,
don't want to work.
and I said, right, but you were just joking around or whatever. And I said you had to be a trophy if you wanted to like do that. I mean, that's the truth. If you want a rich man and you want to not work and have some man take care of you, you have to be a trophy wife. And that means you have to have the body, the looks, the personality.
Or get a sugar daddy.
Right, with that to get a sugar daddy, you have to have all that. Like they're not going to be paying freaking to have some busted looking woman. They're going to they want someone who's hot. It's a transaction, So, yeah, but it's the truth though. Like
But like, there's also women who prefer stay-at-home husbands, who don't care if they have their money together and stuff. And then it really depends on what the person's looking for.
yeah. There's women who want stay-at-home husbands.
Yeah, there's women who prefer to be the breadwinners are the workers.
Oh, well, yeah, I could see that too. A lot of men have a hard time with that though.
Yeah, and then some men also just want to stay home and do the housework and stuff. Like
I've never met a man who actually
I
would do
have.
that. Never. I've never met one.
Then their ego are too big.
I've never met. I mean,
If they're not okay with like staying home, I feel like either of them should be fine.
I don't know. My grandfather retired early.
I think-
But I mean, I never met anybody who like any man who was actually okay with like being like, okay, I'm just gonna stay home and like take care of the kids while my wife works and like I don't know. Like
You've never met like a stay-at-home husband?
no,
There's plenty of them.
no. I mean, I've heard of them before, but I've never actually met one in my circle. No.
Yeah.
Every man I know works.
That's also like society's like standards and stuff. It's
Yeah.
like- I think both people, depending on where the other one works and stuff, should work. And then it also depends on what the other, like what they agree. Do they have kids? All of that. Like, do they have pets and stuff? How
Yeah.
much can they afford like sitters?
I mean, with the
But-
cost of childcare
yeah,
and stuff nowadays.
But if like both people want a job, they should both be able to get a job. It shouldn't be like, no, I don't
Oh,
want
yeah.
you to get a job, blah blah blah. Like they should be able to get
I
a job
know-
if they want to.
a doctor that I work with, her husband stays home because she's a doctor, and
Yeah.
so he doesn't have to work. But it was all because of childcare. They have like 2 kids, and if childcare is costing them thousands of dollars a month, and you know why?
God, childcare is so much.
I know it's
I'm so
ridiculous.
sorry.
Well, because I mean, it's either their version of childcare was a nanny, not like
Oh.
daycare. You know, like so they were comparing that kind of cost, not our kind of cost. So
Not the poor people
yeah, not
cost.
like the daycare out in the corner is costs a couple $100s a week. They're comparing nanny to husband staying home. So yeah, so that's definitely cheaper than hiring a nanny.
Attractive, we all walked over. Are we
never
more
know.
attracted to Jack men?
Well, I'm assuming they framed that because we're all guys here. They mean women.
Well, men can be attracted to
If
men.
I had to
mean, we're just
switch
saying.
teams, I'm going with the Jack guy.
Obviously, this is going to be like personal biases, but I think attraction is very fluid in the sense that
As a man,
I can
that's
100% admit, like
attract
there was
guys.
probably 40 pounds of muscle ago is when most women would be like attracted to me. Of course, like fitness girls, they're totally okay with the size I am. But like probably most girls, I'm like too much for. So I guess like where do we draw that line of like, I think for example, like you would be much more attractive to most women than me. Would you agree with that?
I mean, that doesn't mean that like if you walked up to a girl and let's say you're not her, like you're a little bit more muscular than she would like. If you have the charm and charisma, she gonna still go with you, man. It don't matter.
I have an interesting point, and no shade on you, but I think if you had Zach right, you're on the end.
Yep.
If you put Zach and Greg and you put them next to each other and you did a poll, I think that most women would probably pick him if you had to like, because he's got the height and all that. What would you guys say to that?
No.
Well, we can put it to the test.
But that's not really
that's-
fair. I'm 48 years old. He's a lot younger than me. He's about a foot taller than me, but you can't compare. I'm an old man. I'm 48 years old.
Obviously, height is a big component. So that you know, so it's not apple. You're comparing apples to oranges. But if you take the same guy, same height, etc., but one guy is fat, one guy's in good shape, she's always gonna go with the guy that's in better shape.
Because I've been so surprised to see on Instagram, there'll be like guys doing like an outfit try on, like not in shape in the slightest bit, and all the comments are women like, I wish like men knew this is how we wish they looked, and like, oh, this is like the
Liars
dream.
for social
physique.
media. Yep.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Because there's like a big thing where it's like women don't want shorter men, and it's like a big thing, and it's like people are getting mad at women for not wanting shorter men or whatever. And I think it's wrong to get mad at someone for not wanting a shorter man.
I think it's mad to get
Because not
mad
only,
at anybody for not
yeah,
liking anything.
But not only is it a societal thing where women feel like they need to feel smaller, but then it's also just their preference, and there's no reason to get mad at a woman for having a preference. Because men have preferences too, right? Like, you're not going to get mad at a man for not wanting a fat woman, so why
Right.
are you going to get mad at a woman for not wanting a short man?
Exactly. And that's there's
Yeah. And then no one
all
gets mad at
kinds
a
of
man when they
things.
don't want a super tall woman, but they get mad at women for not wanting short men.
exactly.
So it's like,
People are doing that with all kinds of things nowadays.
Yeah,
They do
and
that
it's
with
like-
race, they do that with weight, they do that
Yeah.
with whether they're trans.
Yeah, and
they
it's
do that,
it's
and it has
people can find like if someone doesn't want to go out with a trans person because they're trans, that's perfectly fine.
Right.
I think because that's your preference and like that's just what you like.
right.
It's not wrong to have a preference, you know.
Like I'm not attracted to guys with blonde hair,
But like if you're going
and
around
I
telling
I
trans
just
people
never
like,
liked it.
if you're going around telling trans people that's like disgusting and like you would never go out with
Right.
them, then that's wrong.
Right.
But like it's not like you're saying that, it's just your preference.
Right. And if someone asked you a question and you were honest enough to say, like, if someone were to say, what do you think about guys with blonde hair? And I was like, I mean, I don't hate people with blonde hair. I'm not attracted to guys with blonde hair. I'm honest enough to say
And they're like,
I'm
oh,
not
that's
attracted.
so rude. You're like calling them ugly. It's like,
Oh yeah,
what?
I'm not saying that at all.
No,
I'm
it's
not saying that they
just my
should be
preference.
like eliminated. I'm just saying that they're just not my thing.
Yeah.
And so
Like I don't like guys with ginger hair, but I like women with ginger hair.
right.
Women with ginger hair are beautiful,
Yeah.
but I hate guys with ginger hair.
Really? So I think I like guys with ginger hair too.
Well, I
But-
guess it depends because a lot of the ginger hair.
It depends on
guys
how
you
they're
see are, like-
rocking the look.
Yeah.
If they have to know how to rock the look. That's the problem. And a lot of them don't know how to rock their look. You know, some of them look a hot mess.
But usually I don't find men with ginger hair attractive. And then there's also the race thing where it's like, oh, you're racist if you don't like this race. It's like, no, that's not how that
No.
works.
No, not at all. And there's attractive every race.
Yeah.
There really is. There's every single race. I've always found something attractive about every single
Yeah,
race.
at least one of those people. You
Yeah.
know? And
So-
like, there's never no one attractive in one race.
It's just like the
And
people that you
even-
surround yourself with.
Yeah.
You might not find anybody in that particular group or in your circle or in
Attractive,
that you
But
right that are
it doesn't
attractive.
make you rude
No.
or wrong. It just means you don't find them attractive.
And you don't maybe your circle isn't big enough or you don't
Mm-hmm.
haven't been around enough people to find that attractive person.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that you're not attracted to that particular race. You just haven't
Found that person.
found the right one.
Yeah.
Like that's how I feel about it.
Mhm.
But believe me, there's
There's
every
attractive
race
people
is
in all races,
attractive.
Yeah. And there's ugly people in all races too.
Absolutely. There's a lot more of those than anything.
Liars for
To look
the
good
one thing
for
about you
clout.
can never believe what women say, man.
To people in general. So you could be jacked, you could be more plus size, you could be skinny, you could be whatever it is that you are. If I'm attracted to you, I'm attracted to you.
What are the traits you find most attractive?
I think the way that you carry yourself is a really big thing for me. I can't date someone who lacks confidence because I feel like that seeps into other aspects of your life.
Do you mind if I jump in on the confidence thing?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So growing up, wasn't too confident in myself, and I gained that confidence when I started losing weight. And I noticed it was me putting myself in positions to get more opportunities with women. Right now, I'm single right now, but I'm doing okay. But the confidence came from me losing weight. So I do agree that it's a subjective kind of standpoint, but socially, I understand that physically fit men, that's just like what everyone's liking. It's like what,
I don't
that's
think
what
it's as
trends towards.
subjective as guys are trying to say. Attraction isn't a choice, and there are hardwired traits that women look for in men. And what I've come to realize is that what women put out there is what they find attractive or politically correct things. Oh, he has a dad bod. He's nice. He's a good guy. The reality is that women don't respond well and favorably to these men. There's a reason why nice guys finish last is a thing. It's because when you're too nice and you kind of bend to her will, etc., girls aren't aroused by that. Girls don't want to say what they're really aroused by.
So there's this thing going around where it's like women are finding like ugly people on TikTok and stuff attractive because of like the way like they're acting like they're not ugly, and it's like making them seem more attractive to women. And I can't remember what it's called, but like it's a thing that's like being spread a lot. And
That
it's like-
sounds fucked up and mean.
yeah, and it's like this person will be really ugly, but because they're super confident and carrying themselves like they're gorgeous,
Yeah.
women are finding them more attractive.
That sounds really mean. Like, so the women are like egging them on to be more confident, or they're getting confidence from the attention, or they're just confident before they started getting the
No,
attention?
yeah, they'll be confident and like they'll post videos of themselves, and women will find it attractive because they're being confident.
Oh, because they're confident.
And then like then those men will get overly cocky because the women are now finding them attractive, and then the women will think that they're terrible and stop it.
Oh God.
And it's just a cycle, and it's really bad.
TikTok is a scourge on the earth, really.
Like there was this one guy, and it was like he just posted a video lip syncing to a song, and he got so much hate, and people were like, women, or it was female gaze is what it's called. Female gaze, stop trying to get the female gaze, all that, right? And then other people were being like, you look like a pedophile.
Aww.
And I was like, that's so rude to say to someone. He didn't do anything. He was just lip syncing. And that's just so wrong. And his mother and stuff was like calling him and being like, why are people saying this about you? And it's just so bad. Like TikTok is such a toxic place.
I'm telling you, it is. It's horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, the internet in general is toxic.
yeah.
And if you put your videos or anything like that online, you have to expect
Yeah.
anything. But I mean,
He wasn't even bad looking though. He like
yeah, people are just jealous. A lot of people are haters too.
yeah. Like he wasn't the best looking, but he wasn't like bad, you know?
I don't know, what were they expecting? Him to be like a model or something, or
The sound got taken down off TikTok though because of copyright reasons, so
oh. So now he's just lip syncing to nothing, which probably makes it look even worse. Oh my God. That'd probably happen to this
But
video.
yeah, he made like a response video and everything, and he was like, "It's so wrong to be saying that I look like a pedophile. Like also, like that really is just terrible, though. Why would you say that to someone?"
I don't know. I say that about myself sometimes when I shave off my beard.
Yeah. Some people look like a threat,
It looks creepy.
but like you shouldn't say that to someone.
Actually, Walter always says I look like a rapist when I shave off my beard.
Guys that are able to stand up to them, guys that are able to tell them, well, that was a stupid comment, or hold them accountable for their stupidity when they do dumb things. This is what women find attractive because these are leadership traits.
Have any of those things happened to you though?
Well, I mean, I've talked to almost 3,000 women, and what I've come to realize from talking to all of them is that most of the time, you know, when they're in a comment section of TikTok, like, you're so handsome, blah, 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 will they actually go on a date and have sex with that guy? Probably not.
And I'm not
What's
gonna
more
argue
attractive?
the fact that our society definitely finds Jack guys more attractive. But I disagreed with the statement because it was a blanket statement that I
You know my teacher, Mr. Samuels, the new one.
Mm-hmm.
So you know Avery.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was being really annoying, and he does this every single class. He'll pick a fight over the dumbest thing, and our teacher started being like, "I'm a man, and I demand respect because I'm a man." I'm like, what is wrong with you?
Oh God.
He's usually fine too, though. Like he's usually like he's usually just a normal person, and he'll like talk like a normal person, and you can actually have conversations with him. But I don't know why or what he was doing, but he was like, "I'm a man and I demand respect." And I think that's so annoying.
Oh my God.
Everyone was making fun of him after that. Because he's a man and he demands respect.
Wow. He just lost it there. There's another video we should react to too. About these alpha
Oh my
males.
God.
have found untrue in my own life.
Do all of you feel like you'd be more or less attractive, let's say 50 pounds lighter than you are, and simply like just body fat?
I think so. I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something that I struggled with for a while is, in me losing weight, am I still going to be able to book the jobs that I book? Because I've built an entire brand off of.
So I think when fat people look at the mirror and they say, oh, I like that, that's coat, man. No, you don't. They say that to try to bring them years. I was an athlete in college looking back at you. When you look back and you see the guy and you're in shape, et cetera, and you feel
Self. When you look in that morning and I throw
looking back at you, when you look back and you see the guy and you're in shape, et cetera, and you feel good about yourself, look good, feel good. A byproduct of that is that women just tend to find you more attractive. It all works together in tandem.
Are you happy with the way you look?
Of course, of course. But I had to work to build this physique, and it took many years. I was an athlete in college, was a Division I athlete. It took many years to be able to do this. So
What'd you play?
I rode in college, crew. Oh,
Sweet.
rowing. Yeah.
I like rowing.
So I think when fat people look at the mirror and they say, "Oh, I like that," that's cope, man. No, you don't. They say that to try to bring themselves up, but the reality is, most of the time when you're fat, you look in the mirror, you're like, "Damn, I really let myself go."
Not every
Or you're
fat
like, "You know what?"
So
And I'm sorry to say, but I know that what the Fresh and Fit guy is saying is 100% accurate. There is no fat person that's looking in the mirror and saying that I love my body and I accept myself just as I am. It's if you're saying that, if they're saying that, it's a fucking bullshit ass lie. It's a lie. Anybody who's looking in the mirror who's morbidly obese would, if they could snap their finger, if they could make a wish or anything and have a perfect body, they would do it in a freaking heartbeat. If they loved or accepted their body as it was, people would be wishing for those kinds of bodies, and it ain't gonna happen. So no, it's a lie.
So I just looked at the title of the video, right? Is being fat a choice? I think in most cases it is.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I think there, like I said before, there are some cases you can't control it. But I think in general, it usually is.
I think so. When you're a kid, like you don't have a choice because you're eating whatever you're given.
Yeah. And it depends
And
on how you're raised.
yeah, and so you're raised with learning bad habits and giving bad, and learning those bad choices and bad habits and like old school ways of thinking and finish what's on your plate and like
Yeah.
stupid things that people pass down.
I feel like finish your plate is dumb. If you're not hungry, don't eat it.
Right. And
It's teaching them to just eat more than they need.
it's so dumb. But just like family recipes and it's just like the things that people used to eat back in the day are things that we don't necessarily need to eat now. Like for example, like roast beef and mashed potatoes and all that kind of stuff. Like it might have been good for men who were working all day in the factory and came home and ate that for dinner because they were working their ass off all day. But for someone like me who's been sitting at a desk all day long, what have I been doing? Like what do I need to eat
Yeah.
roast beef and mashed potatoes for when I get home? Like
Yeah.
it isn't like I was exerting myself so hard all day long. So I could eat something. I could have a salad with some chicken breast on it. Like I don't need to have that amount of calories, to sustain life. And I think that's where I think a lot of people, you know,
Standing desks.
yeah.
Yeah, those are actually very helpful.
Mm-hmm.
But then with standing desks, you also have to buy specific feet pads, like a little pad thing to go on the floor, because if you don't have that, you'll actually mess up your feet.
Yeah.
And so there's actually a lot of stuff that you need just to stay like healthy and active and stuff. And it's a whole thing. It's
Yeah.
really annoying. But like standing desks are really good for you if you have that mat and everything and you can afford to get it.
Yeah.
And it's good if you're gonna be at your desk all.
I'm getting a little pedal thing, so I can like pedal
Yeah.
while I'm at my desk. We should have something where we have to like power our computer
You just
with it.
you stop and you can't get your work done for the day.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, and everything just powers down. You lose all your progress.
Yeah, we should. But yeah, it's like yeah, I don't like even like culturally. There's things that were passed down to us, like like Puerto Ricans eat certain things, and yeah, culturally it was great when you're living on the island, and and they were working all day and in the fields and doing this and that, and you came home and you ate rice and beans and it was freaking loaded with carbs. Yeah, you needed that, but you don't need that in the lifestyle that we have here in the United States. So you're bringing that cultural food here,
And you're just sitting on your.
and that's
butt
why
all
you
day.
have diabetes, and that's why you have heart issues, and that's
you're
why
getting chubby.
and that's why you're getting fat. Is because you're bringing that type of diet to the United States, but you don't have that kind of lifestyle. And so that's culturally, it's just like we're bringing those things here, but we don't need them for the type of lifestyle that we have.
The body.
The body positivity movement is problematic.
To a certain degree. I think it depends on how bad it's gotten. I think if you're unhealthy, then it can be. And people are like, no, girl, you're so beautiful, blah, blah, blah. I think they should just be straight up like, you're still beautiful, but you need to work on yourself a little bit.
I think like body positivity to me, it started as I always thought it was like if you were born missing an arm and you're born disabled or born like with one eye.
So like disability.
You're born
positivity.
disabled and born something was wrong with you, or born with one nipple, and you were still beautiful as you are. I don't think that body positivity means that you can get, eat and gain 600 pounds and then
Still be gorgeous. We
be
all love you.
gorgeous and we love you.
Yeah.
Yeah, girl, live your life. Like, it's not, to me, that's not what it
Yeah.
was about. That's the
Also,
problematic part.
Life is really short. I don't know why you would want to spend your life and then also be making it shorter by doing that.
Right.
Like, life's already short. You should, like, I don't know.
And then on the flip side, life is short. And if you are obese, does that mean you should just like crawl into a hole and die and not
No.
live your life at all? Like,
No.
so there's also that
Go out
aspect
and
of
live
it
your
too.
life, and then by living your life, you might also start losing that weight.
Right.
You have to get up and do something.
But you shouldn't be, I think
You
that
shouldn't be congratulated and praised.
and putting it online like it's some amazing
Yeah.
thing that you're doing because you're like,
And then, like I
ooh,
said
you're not
before-
bedridden. Yay.
And like I said before, there's like those healthy middles where it's like that little bit of chub. Like, yeah, body positivity, that's beautiful,
Right. Like, okay, you got a big ass.
Yeah.
Or you're more hippie than you have
Yeah.
more hips than
You have a
average.
you have a little bit of tummy fat.
Yeah, you have
Like,
some
that's fine.
cellulite. Okay.
We all
like,
love you.
Yes, like that to me
And,
is like body
you
positivity.
can be a little chubby and still be beautiful.
Right.
And that's body positivity.
Yeah.
And but I feel like to a certain degree when someone gets like disgustingly obese, you
Right.
shouldn't be woo.
Yeah, and I think it's like
But I
like
think
it's like body positivity is like if a girl is like flat chested.
yeah, I think
You should be
I
okay
also-
with not saying that you don't need to have breast implants. Like, no,
Yeah.
you're fine.
I
Like,
also think there's ways to be positive towards fat people
Yes.
and still help them.
right.
Like you can still be like, yes, you're still beautiful. You just need to work
You
yourself
can
back
be
down.
also be healthy.
You can also be healthy.
Right, and
I
beautiful.
think
right.
everyone's beautiful,
Right.
personally. That doesn't always mean you're super attractive.
Well, that's good. And
though.
I think you should keep that attitude.
Yeah.
Don't lose that attitude.
I think
I don't have that attitude
most
anymore.
living
but...
things are gorgeous.
Well, animals.
Not
For
spiders.
sure. Animals for sure.
Not spiders though.
No, no. And those thousand-legger things either.
Mosquitoes. Oof.
No.
But like, I think that's also
Mm-hmm.
saying anything not cute doesn't deserve to live.
Well, they can live. I just don't want them in my house.
Exactly. Yeah, they're very important to our ecosystem and everything.
Yeah.
It's like, but fat people aren't,
No.
so they can go die.
No. No, I just don't want them in my house. No.
Get the fat people out.
No.
I think there's ways to be positive towards them, but also help them.
Yeah.
And I think everyone deserves to still have that love, and not be treated terribly just because you're a little.
Well, I think love and
Or a lot
support
fat.
is what helps
Helps,
people
yeah.
change, actually.
And that's a big thing. That's
Not
important.
shaming
Yeah.
and embarrassing them.
There's
That's
a
not
way. There's a way to shame, but do it in a loving way,
right.
so they know, like, I'm trying to help you.
Like a support shame.
There.
Well, promoting Lizzo. Making fun of Adele for losing weight, but promoting Lizzo for being a fat ass. Unacceptable.
Do we feel, are a lot of people doing that?
I think the thing around Lizzo is it's not just the weight, it's the lifestyle. You like see her drinking all the time and partying and not sleeping. There's like so little to do with health. It's not just she's promoting like loving yourself, which I think is great. She's promoting a lifestyle that is unhealthy, like being very overweight, drinking, not sleeping. All of these things are not conducive to your health. So I think you conflate that, and sure, being body positive is important, like loving yourself, loving the way you look. But if that's gonna influence other people to make bad decisions about their body and their health, that's problematic.
Body positivity is disempowering people. It's making them think that they're healthy at any size, which they're not. And so as soon as you start telling people, hey, just love your body.
Stand that whole like healthy at any size.
Oh no, you're not.
Like, come on.
You're not healthy at any size.
It's like the most ridiculous thing ever. And you know how YouTube like bans certain words and certain statements for being like used because it's considered like untrue, or this is considered like unfactual, or they'll like put like a little like warnings on it.
Yeah.
Healthy at any size should be one of those things. That's if that
Like,
statement is
when-
used, it should be like this is considered unfactual, or science is considered this to be deemed as untrue.
No, like,
it should be true.
When the
on there.
pandemic was around,
Yeah.
if you even said COVID in your video,
Yeah.
it would be flagged as infactual, or
Yep.
it would be taken down, or it would be demonetized, or whatever. And it was like, I just said one word, and it's something big happening in the world. It's not like I'm spreading
Right.
false information. But if you so much as said COVID or like anything about it,
Yep.
like people would have to sneak around it if they were going to try
Yeah.
and mention it at all.
Now
And it's like,
they say
I understand what they're kind of trying to do, but they're going about it wrong.
yeah. Well, that's healthy at any size should be
Yeah.
that, because it's that is complete falsehood. You cannot be healthy at any damn size.
Personally, my problem with body positivity isn't necessarily what it stands for. And I feel like there's a misconception because there are those people that they use it to justify fatness and just. I don't even want to say fatness. I want to make it very clear, unhealthiness. Because there's someone like me who I wouldn't say I'm necessarily part of the body positive community anymore. Personally, I would say I champion body diversity because it's all encompassing. It's inclusive of what everybody, is doing within their journey. When I expressed the desire to lose weight, another plus size individual that I used to be friends with was just like, well, I don't feel like I can share your content because I'm not sure how my followers are going to perceive this. I think it might be trigger.
So that to me is like mind blowing to me. So he was told by one of his friends that they can't share his content because he's losing weight, and their followers would be triggered by his losing weight. To me, that is just like mental problems. Like,
Wait, that doesn't make sense.
exactly. It doesn't make any sense. So,
Wait, what did he mean?
so his friends' followers,
Hmm.
like she couldn't share any of his posts because her followers are going to be triggered by his weight loss.
Why would they? No.
Well, that's how they are. That's how these body positivity people are. Because they're like obsessed with it. If someone loses weight,
like how dare you lose weight? You're making all of us feel bad.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how they are. It's like saying that because they're not doing it, it's like a slap in their face or something, kind of a thing. Like you're downgrading them.
Yeah, how dare you be healthier?
Right.
No.
Yeah, no. Glad you're not on that bandwagon.
Oh yeah. How dare you be healthy?
Physically, you've got to find the right avenue.
They're not happy where they want to be. They just accept that because they're too lazy to make a change.
No, but I genuinely do love my body.
Right now, as you are?
Yeah.
Then why are you going to the
And
gym?
I'll explain to you.
Then why are you going to the
I
gym?
will explain it to you. I love everything that my body is capable of doing. I love the fact that at my size, I can do a lot of things that other people smaller than me still cannot do.
But you
Wait, like what?
That's a bunch of horseshit too. Like that. Those are like body positivity
Okay.
talking points too.
Hold on. You can love your body and still want to be healthier and still want to slow
But-
down. I can be perfectly happy with myself and still want to go to the gym.
You can love your body. Like you can love. See, and I think that what they're saying to me is wrong. You can love yourself. Okay, you can love yourself, but you can't love your body like that. Love your overweight body. You can love yourself and be like, well, I can change my body. I'm going to love myself enough to change my body so it's healthy and in shape. But your body, if your body is fucked up and your body's not right, you cannot love your body that way. You can't. It's impossible. It's impossible. There's no way. What is it doing for you? What good is it doing for you that you love it so much? You know? It doesn't look good. It doesn't feel good. It's not doing anything. It's not helping you age well. It's not doing anything good for your joints. It's not doing anything good for your back. It's destroying your organs. I mean, what is it doing for you? Like, what do you love about it? You know? I don't understand what that love is. You might love yourself, you know, your insides, like it up here, but your body itself, you don't love your body. That's how I feel about it. And I think that's where the whole body positivity movement has warped people's sense of like what love is, like what loving yourself is. Loving yourself is not your physical appearance. And I think they want like the body positivity movement wanted people to originally not care about people's physical appearance, but that's all they obsess about. That's all they care about is people's physical appearance now. They are obsessed with their physical appearance. They're obsessed with other people's physical
Yeah,
appearance.
which was like shown by like we can't share content anymore
Right. So
because
because they're obsessed with him losing weight.
Yeah.
They're obsessed with people
and
getting
if
skinny.
it's body positivity, then skinny people should be included too.
Right.
Because
Exactly.
that's their body, and you should
don't-
feel positive about that.
Oh, they don't care about. They don't want you to see that though.
Yeah, and it's like
But
no matter where you are on that level, you should be positive, is what they're saying, you know?
no.
And it's like that's what they're saying though. They're saying that whether you're the skinniest person, whether you're a little bit chubby, whether you're the fattest person, all of us are the same. All of us should be loved, like the exact same and treated the same and everything.
Right.
And I think there's truth to that, and I think there is falsities to that. I think it's kind of iffy in a lot of those places. I think people should be treated the same and respected, but I think I guess in different ways they should be treated differently.
Yeah. And the
But I don't
reality.
think I don't think you should disrespect someone or be rude to them because
No.
they're fat. I think.
But
I don't know how to word
reality.
it.
But the reality is that you are. Like in the perfect world, people who were thin and people who are morbidly obese would be treated the same. In a perfect world. But it's not.
In reality, no one's ever.
No,
That's never gonna happen.
Because I would look at somebody who is anorexic and judge the shit out of them just as I would judge somebody who is 700 pounds. I would judge them both the same. They're both have mental issues, I would think, you know? So,
But then there's also people who have conditions where, like I said, they can't lose weight, but they can't gain weight.
right,
And then
exactly.
they look like they're anorexic or whatever, and then people judge them and assume, and then
Yeah.
like blah 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 blah, and it's like a whole thing where it's like it's not their fault. It's not even like they're not starving themselves, like they're not making themselves throw up or anything. It's just they're eating, they just can't gain weight.
Exactly.
They're exercising and moving, they just can't lose weight.
Right. But I would still judge because I don't know any of that background. You know, I'm just saying, like, just,
So that's
someone who doesn't
that's my thing.
know.
I just try not to judge people
yeah.
unless I know.
Well, that's because you're a better person than I am. But
I'm still young and innocent.
you haven't been tainted yet.
But I feel like it's not right to judge people unless you know them
Right. Well, that's good.
or know their story.
Stay that way.
try.
Don't get tainted. Yeah, don't get tainted. Like
You want to lose weight
alcohol.
though. See, here's the thing. There's a bunch of fat influencers that push this body positivity situation, and a bunch of them are dead now. No one talks about that. That didn't hit mainstream news.
So I'm in that space.
Yeah.
Which influencers are you talking about? Because I'm
I don't
unaware.
recall their names, but there's a couple of them that passed away. They're YouTubers. They used to do these mukbangs where they'd eat a bunch of food on
You
camera.
know,
Mukbang
that's
is a
totally
okay.
different.
Okay, but that's a
They're not
mukbang
a
is a
part of our
different thing.
community. That's
Yeah.
a completely different thing. We're not saying we're gonna go to a restaurant and pig out just because it's entertaining or anything like that. There are people that they're called gainers, that their whole lifestyle, their fetish and things like that revolves around gaining weight.
Yeah, and I understand that you're
We
saying that that's
don't-
not a component to the
it's
body
not-
positivity movement, but
it's
you
not
got to
a part
understand
of
for
it.
the general masses, they're watching that, they're going to attribute it to that. They're not in the niche, they're not a creator, so they're not looking at it like, no, this person's just a gluttonous person. No, they look at everyone who's obese that's making content about being obese and continuing that lifestyle as a part of the body
But they're
positivity
not
movement.
making content about being obese. They're making content about overeating.
And that's what overeating makes you. So I mean, people can say what they want, but that's what they're associating
It's
with.
also not fair, though, for people to look at a couple people who are force feeding and overfeeding themselves and view that as the whole community. Because not everyone's doing that. I think mukbangs are disgusting. I could never watch them.
It makes me
I
sick.
can't deal with the sound of people eating. Or, even, I don't know. It's gross to me. And I think it's really unhealthy, and no one should be eating that much in one sitting, especially.
No, it makes me want to hurl. I can't deal with it.
I have abused my body. Will the agreeers step forward?
Oh, we already skipped past that. Perfect.
I'll start by saying I've abused my body many times. Being a bodybuilder, a professional bodybuilder, I've abused steroids, did that for over 10 years. I don't think you can get to the level that you have to get to be a professional.
They're loaded with steroids.
God.
Lifting weights have totally abused their joints and everything too.
No, I think there's a middle ground to that. I think there's ways to be healthy without destroying your body.
Yeah.
I think you can be fit without pumping yourself full
Like
of
the thinner
steroids,
guys, their
forcing-
bodies
and,
aren't
yeah,
destroyed.
and forcing yourself to lift way too much and I don't know. And I think if you can, and if you're slowly building your way up to that in a healthy way, then that's perfectly fine if that's what you want to do. If you prefer that to have that body type, then that's your choice.
Exceptional happening.
But some guy taking PEDs is
Okay,
better
there's two
than
different
that?
things, sorry.
No, sorry. I'm legitimately curious.
Yeah.
You have guy using PEDs on one side trying to do stuff, and then you do have Peter Jackson, Lord of the Rings, multi-Academy
well, that's why I was
Award
very
winner.
explicit to say I'm talking about the fat.
PED is? It's a performance enhancing drug. Like steroids, yeah.
But would you consider overeating abusing your body?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So would you say all of those people have abused their bodies?
Yes, absolutely. I abuse my body. Oh yeah, of course.
Because it's kind of forcing your stomach to stretch.
Mm-hmm. And
So-
and just
and it's
my knees
unhealthy.
are destroyed.
Yeah, and it's
from it.
unhealthy
Yeah.
and it messes up your body. So therefore, I feel like it is kind of abusing yourself.
Yeah, it is. I think that any of the people that have taken steroids too, and they, to be honest, their insides are probably just as, if not more, jacked up than the people who are obese. Yeah, it's not good for you.
Influencers.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I'm
okay.
talking in that
Fat,
context.
yeah.
If
Maybe
you're gonna have
okay.
abuse of
Maybe
your
I missed
body
that.
on two different ends, right? One extreme is a bodybuilder, the other is a fat influencer. I think me and most of society would have far more respect for the
I think he's going to
bodybuilders.
respect
I
the
think-
hardworking billionaire.
I understand that, but I also think that if someone's abusing themselves in any way, there should be some empathy and rather than just being you're a better abuser to yourself than that person.
Fitness culture can be toxic. Agreeers, step forward.
Abusing yourself in any way, someone again needs to step in and help
Yeah.
you.
So do you think fitness culture is toxic?
Yeah,
You think so?
yeah, because there's a lot of unhealthy expectations upon that too.
Yeah, and a lot of times, especially online fitness culture, is like
Yeah.
they do things without any type of like medical knowledge,
And they'll
they're just
also
like telling
say,
people to do shit.
they'll also
like,
be like, "This is how I lost 50 pounds in 1 week."
Yeah,
And
so
it's like
stupid.
they do one workout, and
Yeah.
it's like just this.
yeah.
And it's like,
Are you talking about my Thigh Master?
yeah. But like, there's so many lies spread too, and so many unhealthy body things, and just so many unhealthy expectations, and different like. It's not a good place to be.
Yeah.
I think the internet in general, though, is just very toxic.
Yeah. It's like literally just as bad as the body positivity.
Yeah,
They're just
and
the
even just
opposite
going to
spectrum.
the gym, some of those people are toxic.
Yeah.
It can be really bad because like they'll make fun of fat people and act disgusted, and then a fat person will be at the gym and they'll act disgusted and be like, "Why are you in the gym? Get out!" Like they're trying to lose the weight. Why are you treating them like that? You know.
And that's why a lot of people like me created these channels that we have to begin with. It's just because we're like trying to be in like the middle ground. Like I work out, but I'm not toxic about it. Like
Yeah.
I've never taken a steroid.
And
I'm not obsessed with my weight. I'm not obsessed with like getting abs and being jacked but I also don't want to be fat.
Yeah, but
you know, and
my biggest thing is you can't be toxic towards fat people and be
No.
like, "You're disgusting. Your life shouldn't. You shouldn't be like this," and then get mad and upset when they show up to the gym to try and fix themselves.
oh hell no.
Like you should never do that because
It's
you
the
were the
opposite.
one. You're the one saying, "Oh, you should fix this," and then you're getting mad when they go to the gym to fix it because people have to see them.
Right.
Or like when they show up to the gym and they're wearing like more open clothing because they don't want to sweat all over themselves. Like yeah, you can't get mad at them for that.
No. I mean it's
Like
like
I'm not saying that like heavier people should walk around with crop tops and stuff and just like all that, but like if they show up to the gym in like shorts and stuff, like you can't get mad at them for that.
no. We'll have another video about that too.
Yeah, and
About clothing.
that's the whole thing. Like, okay, there's extents to the clothing, I think. I don't think, because that can make some people uncomfortable. And I'm not saying you should make yourself uncomfortable just because you're fat, but it's not something, you shouldn't go out of your way to make other people uncomfortable at all.
Right.
Find something you can be comfortable in that's not going to make other people uncomfortable.
Right. But yeah, I mean, think with like fitness culture is like I think a lot of people, especially fat people, have a lot of fear of the gym. Like they think that they're gonna go to the gym and everybody's gonna be like judging them, and I think that and there may be some gyms out there that are like that. Like maybe the gyms that some of those fit
Yeah.
guys go to maybe might be douche gyms.
Yeah.
I don't know, but any gym I've ever been to, they've never been like that where
Yeah.
an overweight person should feel judged. I
And
mean,
then
I was 400 pounds when I first went to the gym, so I never felt judged.
Yeah, and then there's also just other fat people there too.
Right,
So it's like,
exactly.
we're all just trying to get
Plus
to the
we're in
same
the
goal.
plus we're in the Midwest, so I don't know. We're all big,
Yeah.
so
we're all trying to get to the same goal though.
right, exactly. But
Uh,
there was also jacked guys there too. But
Mhm.
I've never, I don't know, never felt anything going to the gym. But
That's good.
you know,
Some people do. Some people are like mistreated and stuff for it.
yeah,
It's like it's unfair.
go to a different gym. There's another one out there for you.
So here's the thing: you operate on what's ideal. I operate on what's real. And the reality is
what's
that the world
real,
is a much
though?
colder and harder place than you think it is. But you want to, people to just understand you and see your perspective and see you as how you see yourself. The reality is, the world's never going to see you how you see yourself. They're going to see you on how you display yourself to them. And when you are fat, out of shape, etc., the people, and if they don't get to know you and talk to you and have a conversation with you, they're going to assume certain things. That's just the world that we live in.
Just to
more emphasis or ability to achieve the result and more motivation to achieve said result than being like, oh, you're fat, what the fuck? You know what I mean? So that's just my
Well,
take
it's
on
because
it.
the fitness industry overcomplicates it so that they can monetize it. So if
So
they
why-
tell
is
you,
that
oh,
their
I got
fault?
the secret sauce. Well, this is why it's important to acquire knowledge and be able to, whether you go ahead and do your own research. And again, it comes back to doing the work, and people get so mad, like, oh, why is this hard? Do your research, look at the studies. There's so much fitness studies out there. There's no secrets. It's just discipline and sustainability over a period of time.
Have you guys ever been confused about how to get and stay in shape based on the
Totally.
information that's out there.
Totally. I would never, ever take advice from you to get that advice or to gain that knowledge because of whatever this disposition it is that you have going on, right?
What's the disposition?
I
So
was listening to that.
so he was saying, he would never take advice from him because of his disposition or whatever. And like I said earlier, he's a douchebag. Like there isn't any fat person that would ever take his advice and feel comfortable taking his advice.
Because the way he
The
shows
way he
himself.
talks about her, even if his advice is correct in what he's saying,
The way he says it.
it's the way he says it is just not. It's not going to resonate with anyone, except for a core group of people that are like him, that don't really need the help or the advice anyways. So all they're going to do is there's going to be this core group of people who are just going to feed off each other, tell everybody how amazing they are and what great alpha males they are and this and that, and they're just going to tell each other how perfect
he
they are.
he does give that vibe where he's like, I'm an alpha male,
Oh,
I'm better than everyone else.
Absolutely. And it's gonna be in a circle telling everybody what alphas they are, and then everybody else is a piece of shit, and then they're never gonna get out of that. So that's their circle. So nobody's ever gonna listen to them except for their core group of people. Maybe they'll suck some other people who are alphas into the group, but to me those are not alphas.
What would you say makes an alpha?
The opposite of that is an alpha. I think if you have to,
I think
alphas are quiet. Alphas are not that.
I think healthy, like you're able to love yourself and you're not just a douche about it.
Yeah,
I don't think you need to run around and spread that, oh, I'm so great, oh, I love myself so much, oh, I'm so happy with how I am, blah, blah, blah.
No.
Like no one cares, no one needs to
A
know.
true alpha is not toxic.
Yeah,
A true alpha does not need to tell anybody. If you
exactly.
are going out and telling anybody that you are an alpha, then you are not an alpha.
Yeah. If
Period.
you're an alpha, then people are going to be like, that's an alpha.
That's period. You're not.
Yeah.
If you have to, if you're
If you have to tell people that I'm strong, I'm confident, I'm amazing,
then you're telling
then you're
yourself
probably
that.
not.
Yeah, if you need, then you're telling yourself that, and you're not it. It's
Yeah.
it's just as simple as that. It's something that should be natural, and it's something that other people should feel about you, not you should feel about you.
Yeah.
It's just as simple as that.
I mean,
Can you describe it?
I mean,
I think I just keep it real.
I don't. I wouldn't
that's
even
fine.
enable it toxic, but I think it's like you have this perspective about the world around you that I think is kind of really warped, and I don't understand why. And I would like to understand why. And I'm not getting it because you're like shame is the answer and stuff like that. But
It's worked for
not.
centuries.
It's not though. It's why you have so much conflict. It's why we're literally sitting here today having this discussion.
So here's the thing: you operate on what's ideal. I operate on what's real, and the reality.
He bothers me so much.
I mean, I agree with that statement though. I myself believe in reality. I don't believe in an idealistic way of thinking. Like I'm very much a reality based person. Like I don't, like I told you, even when I was a kid, I didn't like
You didn't have an imagination.
I didn't
You were
imagine
sad.
shit. I didn't dream about things. It's just kind of like other kids would have an imagination and be like,
Ooh,
"Oh,
let's play house.
look at this dinosaur," and I'm like, "It's a cell phone." Like
You're like, let's
and-
play house.
yeah,
Like, you kind of
like
already
we're
are all
in
the
a
time.
basement. Like that's like that's how I was, and I'm like, "Well, we're in a basement."
Just
But
like, I'll be
playing
your
house.
mom. No, you're my sister.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I just was never like that, and yeah. I mean, I was always a reality based person too, and even now I'm very reality based.
That's not really reality based. That's just kind of sad. You don't have an imagination at all.
No, I mean,
Like, I'm able to sit in a room and entertain myself with my brain thoughts.
um, I don't know. Like, I guess I
Like, could you just sit in a room for like 30 minutes and be entertained?
I guess I could listen to like music or something,
No,
stuff like
just
that.
by yourself. You're no music, no anything.
What would I think of?
I don't know. What would you think of? Would you be able to do that?
Um, I mean, could I draw?
No, you're just thinking. You're just sitting there. You're relaxing. You're using your imagination to just like I'll sit there and I'll make up scenarios in my head, or make up little fake fights, and it's like it's entertaining. No, everyone does it. I swear to God. Talk
Make up
to a
fake
normal.
fights?
Yes. Or you'll think back to a scenario that happened before, and you'll be like, "Oh, I should have said that," and you'll make up little better things in your head.
Oh, I will do that, but I think that isn't that like part of anxiety though? Like you're just like think of a conversation that you had like 10 years ago, and like, God damn, I should would have came up with I freaking come back to that, like.
I don't know. It's like, but like, you couldn't sit in a room for like 30 minutes and entertain yourself with your imagination because you
No,
don't have one.
not with my imagination. No, I would have to like be doing something. I'd have to
Yeah.
like draw or look at the internet or
Like, I could just sit and
No.
stare at the ceiling and be like,
Oh,
I
God.
could just think my thoughts and be entertained.
no. Mm-mm.
Yeah, and that's like, I know so many people who could be able to do that, but like, you just don't have an imagination at all.
No. Mm-mm. I have a hard time taking a nap because I can't like just let myself relax. Even falling asleep at night to go to sleep, it's like I almost have to wait until I'm like
Well, yeah,
passed
that's a
out.
thing for me though. I have a lot of thoughts in that I'm always thinking, so it's hard for me to sleep because like people are like, "Oh, just clear your mind and you'll be able to sleep." And it's like, "No, I'm thinking constantly though."
Mhm.
Like, and then I'm imagining things and I'm doing all this and I'm like, "Ooh, I should do that sometime." And then I'll have these like crazy dreams and I'll wake up and I'll be like, "Oh, that was a really cool dream." And then I'll forget it and it'll be like cuz my brain just makes things up just constantly. And it's like I can't really sleep very well. So I have to sit and just sit there until like I pass out.
Hmm.
Or sometimes I'll sit on my phone for a little while because I just cannot sleep.
I wish I imagined things more. Maybe that's ADD. I don't know. Maybe I can't focus on anything long enough.
You know, ADD actually isn't considered a thing anymore apparently. It's just all categorized into ADHD.
It all what?
It's all categorized into ADHD.
Yeah,
Yeah, ADD isn't a thing anymore.
I know. I don't know why I'm not hyper though, but maybe my
Well,
brain is hyper.
there's different parts of ADHD though.
Okay.
So it's like it's all considered ADHD though.
Oh, well, that's probably what it is then. I don't have any focus on any imagination.
Is
What's
that the world
real,
is a much
though-
colder and harder place than you think it is, but you want to, people to just understand you and see your perspective and see you as how you see yourself. The reality is the world's never going to see you how you see yourself. They're going to see you on how you display yourself to them. And when you are fat, out of shape, etc., the people, and if they don't get to know you and talk to you and have a conversation,
Like I always grew up believing that like like how we said the world like judges you based on what you show them, like always, like so it's always the physical appearance is how the world sees you.
Yeah,
So
and that's sad.
is it though,
It
or is
is.
it just reality?
It's reality, and reality is sad.
Yeah, I guess, but it's like
But also, like, I don't always constantly want to live in reality. It's kind of fun to just, like, it's kind of fun to just disassociate every so often and just kind of just, like, I don't know, pretend the world isn't as bad as it is.
yeah. I don't know. I'm I'm a conformist. Like I'm very like I'm. It's very easy for me to conform to things. Like if somebody tells me that, like believe me, if I were a celebrity, if I ever were a celebrity, it would be extremely easy for me to for them to say like I would never be one of those celebrities who were like, well, I don't want to, I just want to be me. I just want to do this. I just want to do whatever I want to do. And nobody's going to tell me to do anything. And I'd be like, okay, what do you want me to do? Tell me what you want me to do. Who do you want me to be? Like, I do not care. Like, I am a conformist. Like, if someone wants me to be whatever, that's what I would do. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't have that feeling where I'm just like, where I'd rebel against this because, oh, you know, the record label or whatever wants me to become, or the movie company wants me to be this, and that's not who I am, and blah. Like, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. Like, whatever you want me to be is what I'll be. That's how I feel about stuff. But I don't know. Like, I've always been a conformist, and sometimes I don't understand, like, people's emotions, like when they get emotional about stuff, about how when people tell them what to do or how to look and different things, and they like rebel against it. I'm just like, why? Like, who cares? Like, why does it matter to you? You know, like, things don't matter to me like that. I don't know. But does it matter to you?
Um,
Like, if you were a movie star and someone said, okay, this is how you're going to be. You're going to have your hair like this. You're going
For
to
the
wear.
movie?
No,
or
like,
just in general.
you would have a team now, and they would control your public persona in public. And this is who you're going to be in public now. Like, would you care about that?
To the public, with people I don't know.
Like, at home, you could be who you wanted
Yeah,
to be.
then who cares?
But as soon as you walked out that door, and I'm talking about, like, you could not leave your house being you. Like, from the time you walked out the door, you have to be your public persona.
Yeah, but once you're like, if you're ever with friends or anything, you can still be yourself. Like,
If they're in your house.
Ye-
But if you're at a restaurant, if you're in public, you have to be your public persona.
I feel like to an extent I'd be able to do that. But I feel like if I'm just trying to have fun, I'm just gonna be me, you know? Like, I'm not gonna be like,
See, so it'd be hard for you.
I'm not gonna be constantly worrying about that.
It'd be hard for you.
It not really would be hard, I just wouldn't care that much.
It would be hard for you because then your record label or your movie company would be like, you're not following what we want you to do, because now the paparazzi is getting pictures of you being you, not who we want you to be, you know? And it's like that's the kind of stuff that it's like, just be, you would have a hard time being fake all the time. I have no problem being fake all the time.
I can tell.
Yeah.
You already are.
Huh?
You already are.
No, I mean, it's like, it's weird because at work, I could be one way. And then at home, I could be another way. And
Oh yeah, I can do that.
you know, and
Like,
it's like,
I guess there's, to an extent, you kind of act differently around different people,
yeah.
and it really depends on what kind of friendship you have with those people.
Like, if people were to see me, like if my relatives were to hang out with me at work, they probably would think I was weird or
Yeah.
didn't like, or they probably wouldn't like me if they saw me at
But
work.
it's also like a thing where it's like with like say like for example with one friend you might share this interest but with another one you don't share that interest. So you're not going to bring it up around this
Right,
person.
and if
You're
you
going to act
were to,
differently
and if you were to get
and
them
talk about different
together,
things.
it'd feel like weird, like
Yeah, and
because
they
you wouldn't know how
wouldn't
to
like each
act,
other either.
right? Like because you have to act weird, act different in front of both of them, because you might reveal certain parts of your personality in front of one and not in front of the other.
Yeah.
You know, and things like that.
And it also depends on how close you are to that person and like are you comfortable sharing all that?
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know why we got off on that tangent, but
With you, they're going to assume certain things. That's just the world that we live in.
Just to dig a little deeper into that, has something happened to you to confirm that observation that you have.
No, I mean, I just live in objective reality, and objective reality isn't as nice as you think it is.
So you're not drawing from a personal experience at all.
No, I'm speaking fairly objectively that these are the conversations that people have behind closed doors, but they don't want to say out loud because for fear of cancellation, for fear of coming off as an asshole, etc. I'm just saying how people really feel, but they're scared to say it.
Coming from whether the fitness space can be toxic or not, the shame attitude has kept a lot of people out of it. I've been doing fad diets since I was 12 years old. I was put on Weight Watchers. I did Atkins. I did paleo. I did everything you could possibly imagine. And not until I started following other influencers that were more proactive based on, I want to be around for my daughter for as long as I possibly can be. I want to give my body the function it needs. Like just that basic mind shift, hey, life can get a lot better if you do kind of focus on your health a little more. Instead of, you're a fat piece of shit, you need to change. To me, I don't know everyone in the fitness industry, but I know for me personally, it totally changed my relationship with fitness when I started realizing that it was a gross benefit instead of a punishment I had to put onto myself for not being disciplined enough. For people like you to maybe respect me, who, again, we don't know each other in reality. So why am I destroying my life so you will respect me one day?
And that's one thing I can 100% agree with him on is I don't give a flying fuck whether people respect me or not. Like, and there isn't anybody who I think is even watching us on this video should ever care what we think or anybody else thinks. It's like, do it for you. You're not doing it for anybody else. Well, you might be doing it for your family and for your kids, but you're not doing it for some freaking fitness influencer or for some random. You're doing it because ultimately you're doing it for yourself and for your health.
We all just want to know when shame motivated you to be better.
Me personally?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm speaking in general here as
No,
far
I know,
as like
but don't
shame
speak
working.
general.
But
Speak for yourself, personally. When
Well,
did
see-
shame change your life?
oh well, here's the thing. I think every man growing up has been shamed to some degree, where they're like, you know what, I need to improve this. Whether they grew up
No,
skinny.
You though.
Right.
Well, yeah. I mean, I was skinny, right? And then I got picked on, and I was like, okay, I'm either gonna let this define me or I'm gonna overcome. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna go to the gym and start training.
But does it work in any other interpersonal relationship? Like,
That's another thing that pisses me off too. There's these like fitness influencers who will like gain 60 pounds and then show people how easy it is to lose the weight and keep it off. That is some bullshit. Like, if you are a thin person and you gain 60 pounds and then take off 60 pounds, it's not that fucking hard to do. Like, you have already been born, not just born, genetically you might be born with what it takes to keep it off. But were probably raised with what it takes to keep that weight off as well. So you already have the tools and the skills and the genetics that's what it takes to keep it off, to begin with. So to gain that 60 pounds was just like you were having fun for a couple months and eating whatever the hell you wanted and gain 60
You took a
pounds.
break.
Yeah. And then now you went back to your normal lifestyle that you were always used to for all of your life, and you took the weight back off.
Yeah, and your body's already conditioned to be small.
Okay.
So it's like, it's just.
So we should give you, what, a medal for that?
Woo!
Ooh, yay, you did it. So brave.
have your parents ever shamed you, come down on you, made you feel like shit?
Absolutely.
Did you
and I thank them
deserve
for it.
all of it,
No,
100% of
absolutely.
it?
And we allow mediocrity to strive in the West. And I think we need to go back to shaming fat people. We need to go back to making fun of them. I mean, if I was president, hell, I'd put all of them in a fat concentration camp so they can concentrate on dieting and exercising, because being fat is completely not acceptable. I'd have these people back in shape, because what people don't also understand is that
I would go
To a fat concentration camp.
if Richard Simmons was there as like the leader. I would go
Okay. So,
because that would be fun.
okay. But concentration camp. When you think of concentration camp, it's not like a fat concentration camp. Is it like He didn't say it would be different. He just, like, a concentration camp is really messed up.
Yeah, it is messed
With-
up.
Like, are you saying fat people should be gassed? Is that what you're saying?
Well, that's probably what he was thinking. I was thinking more like it would just be like fun and
Yeah.
exercising with Richard Simmons. But
That would be cool. That's like a get unfat club.
yeah, like a fat camp.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A
but
fat camp would be cool. But he said concentration camp.
yeah,
Concentration camps were terrible.
yes.
The doctors, like, what was that one infamous?
Doing experiments, Auschwitz and stuff like that. Where
Yeah.
They, like, yeah.
What was that one famous doctor there?
Oh, I forgot the name.
Yeah, who would like do things with twins and stuff.
Oh,
and
yeah.
experiment on his patients.
Yeah, perform experiments and
Yeah.
do all kinds of
There was actually
terrible shit.
a person whose mother was in Auschwitz who survived, and she went to that doctor multiple times, and he actually saved her life multiple times.
Mm.
And it was like that really surprised me. It was like, wow.
That's crazy.
But like she even wrote a book on it. It was called Not Even a Number, because she was in one of the cabins that were like, they were just gonna die anyway. So they didn't even bother wasting the ink to give them the tattoo number. So her book is Not Even a Number. And it's actually a really interesting story, and I want to get the audiobook and listen to it because I hate reading.
I know, me too.
But it's a cool story and I want to listen to it. We got like a skim version of the story, like a quick version, without like all the details and stuff from the person. And she showed us pictures and stuff, and we got to see dead body pits.
I know.
And
Yeah,
it's terrible.
it is terrible. It's the worst.
It's so bad.
It's
and
like they threw them out like
so for
trash. It
him
was, like,
to say
terrible.
that is almost kind of disrespectful to that too,
well,
in a way. Like
his whole demeanor through the whole thing has been nothing but trash. So
Yeah. But him saying that is kind of also downplaying Jewish people and that. Like, that's not something you can say. And he's in the wrong for that, very much.
I would love to know his thoughts on.
I want to know his thought process when he was saying that, because
Yeah.
that's really messed up. And I want to know what he meant by that.
We probably won't get that.
That fat people bring a big burden on the healthcare system.
Well, can
Obesity,
I-
diabetes, heart disease, etc. It's a big problem.
Do you really mean that, or are you just?
Oh,
Yeah,
bring it
and
up.
so
Like, I don't think he really meant that.
The fact that he's bringing up this whole like, oh yeah, there's such a big burden on the healthcare system and blah 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 blah. You know who else is a big burden on the healthcare system? People who fucking take drugs. You know, they're a way bigger burden on the healthcare system.
Than fat
Like
people.
our EDs are filled with people who are on drugs. You know, like yes, our hospitals have people who have heart issues and things like that, but the emergency rooms are mostly filled with people who have addiction issues, pills, other types of drugs, whatever. And if he really cares so much about that, you know, fight to help get people off of drugs. You know, like because that's really a bigger issue than
Fat people.
that.
Saying that?
I'm dead ass. Yeah. If I was president, make me president, I would get rid of the obesity problem like that. I find it interesting that they can lock us up in their homes for almost 2 years saying wear a mask, etc. But then I say, I'm gonna lock these dudes up in a concentration camp where we're gonna get them healthy food, we're gonna get them exercising, and I'm looked at as crazy.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I guess there's a distinction between having opinions about how COVID was handled and genuinely believing that all fat people should be in a concentration camp.
Yes, a
And I just wanna make
concentration
sure-
camp. Let me be clear. I'm talking about a concentration camp where they're concentrating on diet and exercise.
So I wouldn't necessarily want to go from one extreme to another. I also would not want to be spewing out stuff just to hopefully get a viral clip.
Yeah, that's what I feel like a lot of his shit was on this whole episode.
I know, but that's
But
not gonna just get
it
him a
was
viral
to get
clip.
him a viral clip. But
That's gonna get him canceled.
But no, it doesn't because
It
his
should.
fan base, like he's been on some other things that I've seen too, like these whole like the whole alpha kind of thing too. He's in like one of those things, and that's his fan base is like these d bags like that kind of shit, you know. And so yeah, they probably are just like, yeah, you're fucking awesome, dude. You know, like yeah,
Okay, but
those are his peeps.
I don't think he understand. Is he? I mean, is he stupid? I,
I don't think he's stupid. I think he's actually smart.
does he understand the weight of what he's saying? The fat concentration camps.
Most of us have blatantly told you that shame didn't really work. Shame is what led me to an eating disorder. Shame is what led me to unsustainable weight loss.
Whose fault
when
is that,
what
though?
we're looking for is
Whose fault is that?
stability.
Whose fault is that you decided to go
So-
an unsustainable route with dieting? Whose fault is
So if I was given a timeline that I needed to meet and I'm trying to figure out without also having the tools to do so the proper way, and I'm just grasping at straws on how I do it, yeah, it's not sustainable.
that? Yeah, so whose fault is it that they chose an unsustainable route to lose weight? That's your
It's-
fault.
it's
See, the
an
problem is that you're a
amalgamation.
professional victim. I don't know if you've caught on to this, but you're a professional victim. You constantly blame others for your inadequacies and why you're fat.
That face.
There's some truth to what he's saying. Again,
He bothers me so much.
yes, he
though.
is does bother, but there is truth to what he's saying. And a lot of, the fat influencers, they are professional victims, and they love that whole, like, literally what the guy in the green is saying is almost a playbook of what the fat influencers say. And so I can see why the fresh and fit guy is annoyed by it, because the words that the guy in the green is saying have been said over and over and over again. And they are professional victims, and it's just old. This shit's old already. And yeah, I don't know. But I think he has a point with all that shit he's saying right now.
I
reason
haven't
why you're
blamed-
fat-
I haven't blamed not one person for where I am.
Yeah, because you're always
I think he has a point in some of the things he said, and then other things he said are just completely stupid.
Yeah, and they're
And-
set to they're like for shock value.
Yeah, and that's just like completely like I would never say that ever in a million years, and I don't understand why he would be okay ever saying that. Like, he's making himself look just terrible, just for shock value, and it's not like why? What's the point?
I would love to know like what his like how many subscribers he had before this and how many subscribers he had after. Like I bet you he had like a ton more.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of D-bags.
I think he deserved less though.
Yeah, he probably didn't get less though.
This is just
We're
everyone
searching for a
has an
viral clip,
excuse for
and
why
I
they're
think
fat.
that it's really sad.
And they can't
I
take
think
accountability
it's
for
really,
why they're fat.
really sad.
We got to pause. Let's bring in our disagreeers.
You guys were arguing so much, I forgot the prompt. What was the prompt again?
he's saying everyone has an excuse, right, for why they're fat. But that's something that really bothers me. Whenever I ever have a reason for anything, right, Grandma's always like, that's just an excuse. There's no excuse. Like, no, it's not an excuse, so it's my reason. And it may not be a great reason, and it may be a mistake, but it's a reason, not an excuse. It's not an excuse for why I did it. It's just why. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to excuse my behavior. I'm not trying to justify my behavior. I'm not trying to justify why I did it. I'm just telling you why.
Okay. So it's an excuse
No.
why you're
it's just
justifying it.
the reasoning.
Just messing with you.
It was, I don't want to be on the other side.
Oh, okay.
No, of course I would. I'm a curious person. I have been in much more traditional, like aesthetically pleasing shape in my past, but I've never gotten to like your guys' standards. And of course, I'm curious about anyone's life, like what it's like to walk through their shoes. So I don't see why I wouldn't be.
Yeah, I absolutely chose to, if I could, I'd switch. So when I was my lightest weight, which was 273, I wasn't anywhere near you guys, but I had muscles. I felt really
Get someone and you're like, I want that, but for one day. Like, I want a buzz cut for one day, and then I want my hair back. Do you know? Like, just to know what it's like.
No,
It's weird.
I shaved my hair off today.
I know, but I want a buzz
No.
cut for one day, and then, like, I want my hair back. Or like I want to be like that for one day, and then I want to come back. That way I know what it's like, you know.
Yeah, I would
Or
like to.
I
I would love to
want
do that.
that person's mindset for one day,
Yeah,
and then
I
it's
think
like
it'd be cool to live with somebody else for like a day.
yeah. Or like I just want this specific thing, but for one day, and then I want me back.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause,
Yeah.
like, it's cool to think about that.
I wouldn't want to live the lifestyle of a jacked person for a
Yeah.
long period of time.
But I'd want that for
Like-
1, 2 days, maybe 3.
And I guess if I would, I would want their body for a day, but I wouldn't want to live the life that it took to get that body.
It's also cool to think,
Like, you know what I mean? Because I ain't trying to waste all my time at the gym. Like, I just want
Yeah.
to take that body and go like clubbing
but
with it.
it's also cool to think
Like-
though. You're treated different when you go from fat to thin. Do you think you would be treated different from thin to jacked? And how would,
Oh yeah, I think
and how would that difference be?
I think you have like it would feel like a celebrity status almost, like going from having like a jacked body.
Because personally, I don't like. I think that's kind of, it's unhealthy too, and it's like not, well, depending on how you go about getting that body, I guess. But it can be very unhealthy for that too, and it really like, I don't know. I think I would look at a thin, fit person who maybe has a bit of muscle better than I would look at a jacked person, and I'd give that person, I guess, more privilege, just like
Yeah,
subconsciously.
yeah,
And it's like, I think everyone has that subconscious where
Yeah.
they don't want to, they don't mean to, but like they kind of do.
everybody does. Yeah,
Yeah, but like it's like I said, that healthy in between. That's kind of what you look at more.
yeah,
And it's like, I think it would be kind of like when you're fat, you get treated worse, but to a lesser degree.
right.
I don't think you would be treated like as great as if you were just a good-looking person who wasn't like rippling with muscles. I don't
Right.
know, but that also depends. Some people like that.
Yeah, that's true. I think in the gay world, if you were to go in there into like a club, jacked like that one guy, you'd have like a celebrity status, for sure. But also, if you looked like that guy, with the whatever that gingham striped shirt, that you would have celebrity status too, though, because he's good looking too, you know. So it just depends.
Yeah.
It depends on what kind of bar you went into. Like, it depends on what kind of crowd was in there that day.
Yeah.
Really good about myself, and now that I've fallen back, I literally like almost hate life because I got somewhere, got really close, and it was out of reach, and now I'm falling back and I gotta fight again. So if I could, I'd absolutely would switch.
What
and
makes
come
it
back.
hard to, like, I don't understand, like, you were 273 feeling great. How
Yeah.
did you get back? Like, I'm curious,
Yeah,
genuinely curious.
no, absolutely.
How does that happen?
So when I started my weight loss journey, I was very focused. Like, I can't take any outside help. Like, I gotta do this on my own. I did all the research myself. So my problem was when I would hit plateaus, it hit hard because I'm like, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Why not cutting weight? So eventually, I hit enough plateaus to where like my mentality was just breaking down.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree with the prompt, just saying like, I probably wouldn't go extreme like on your side of the spectrum, so that kind of stuff, but I would like to look like Tyler.
Everyone wants to look like that.
Tyler is the ideal for me of what I want to look like, but I mean, I wouldn't be that short too, but like,
I think, look, I'm just gonna say it, the elephant in the room. Every fat person would want to be in shape. The problem is that they're not willing to do what's required to get in shape, hence why they are fat.
It's abundantly clear what you think. Like we've
a lie.
got it. We've
Kudos
got
to
it.
you.
It's a lie.
I mean, that's what he's saying is the truth. I mean, every fat person would want to be in shape. I mean, they just aren't willing to put in what it takes to get in shape. And I am not as in shape as those ones who are in shape either, because I am not willing to put in what it takes to get in that kind of shape. There ain't no fucking way. I would have to quit my job to put in that kind of work to get in shape like that. It's like, that's a full-time job in itself, you know? And I think a lot of these jacked people don't understand that that is their career. Celebrities, that is their job. Like, their body and they are their job. So there's a reason why they look better than the average person, is because their job is them. So all day long they're getting spa treatments and going to trainers and having chefs and eating the best things and doing things to their face and having their makeup done and their hair done and and doing whatever it takes to be perfect. Whereas we are waking up in the morning, walking the dog, making sure she poops, taking a shower, going to work all day, coming home, cooking dinner, walking the dog, working out, doing this, getting ready for work the next day, like cleaning the house, like then working out.
And walking the dog during your break.
We were coming home at lunchtime, walking the dog again. Then I'm trying to freaking write a script, trying to record a YouTube video. Like, there's like a million things that we're trying to do, and I'm like, when is the time for us to do things for us? Like, there's only so much time that we have for ourselves.
Awesome if you got to the point in your YouTube channel where you could just quit your job.
Yeah, I don't think that'll ever happen, but I mean,
But
make it happen so I can stay home and like do spa treatments all
so
day.
you can become that.
Yeah, no. No.
So
I
you
mean,
can look like buff guy.
yeah. I don't know. Like, I probably would do that, work out all day, but I don't know. It would be it's just crazy how they should have. I wish they would have brought that up. Like a lot of these guys, even the Fresh Fit guy, I'm sure he probably makes money off of his podcast and YouTube channel
sure.
and all kinds of stuff. He doesn't work a regular job, so he has plenty of time to work out. He has plenty of time to eat right. He has plenty of time to do other things that are focused on him. His job is him. That bodybuilder, his job is him. The other bodybuilder, his job is him. Like, my job is not me. So I have to do it when I can do it.
Your job is sitting at a desk and filling
Yeah,
out
my
forms.
job is somebody else.
The next prompt is, your physique is in your control. Can the agreeers please step forward?
To a
certain
point.
extent.
To a
Like you were
point.
saying, you have work. You can't always be
Exactly.
working on
To
your
a
physique
point.
and your body and all of that.
And you
Last
have
question.
you have kids and you have
Oh yeah.
there's so many other things.
And then there's also like for women, once you have kids, your body's stretched out and different just immediately. After
Yeah,
that.
you have a spouse. You
And
have
then you can't control that. You can't control your physique after that.
Where are you getting the notions that people are not disciplined?
so and that's another thing too, is like the being in control of your body part too. A lot of people are tricked into thinking that what they see like in media is real. And it might be real, but celebrities pay for a lot of it. Like their bodies aren't 100%.
It's real, but it's not real.
It's not real. Like like it might be on their body,
But it's not.
but they paid
real
somebody
body.
to create that.
Just a little touch up.
Yeah, I was watching this I think it was a YouTube video, and they were showing the procedures that they do on men now in Hollywood. And I was like, damn, I wish I had the money to have this shit done.
I
But
think it was like Kylie Jenner, right? Before and after she had all of her work done.
yeah.
She was like, it's my lips look so good because of this lip gloss
Oh,
that
yeah.
I created and only I sell.
Yeah, it's so stupid.
Like, girl, you have so much work done.
So much work done.
And it's fine. Like, you chose to have that done. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, don't lie about it. We all know.
Yeah, everybody knows.
Because, like, if you saw pictures of before and after, she had all of that done, right? Have you seen this?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she looks so different. And she's like, oh, it's all because of this lip gloss
Yeah.
that only I sell.
Stupid. Yeah, they have, like, they were showing this sculpting of men's faces and how men have these, like, super chiseled, like, jaw lines. And they were, like, they start from, like, here and go, like, real sharp looking.
The Chad line.
Yeah, and how, like, their cheekbones are, like, real sharp, like have like pointy here, and every Hollywood guy has these certain distinct features like sharp noses, and because I always hate how my nose is like round, you know, and they showed how easily they do that with fillers, how they make a round nose look more like sharp and different things like that. And I'm just like, it's just crazy how easy they can do it with just one day in like the surgeon's office, just like fillers and different
Yeah, and
things.
then it's like so quick to heal and
Yeah,
everything. And
it's like, so you could look that good if you had the fucking money and the time. Like, it's not
not
that
even really
bad.
the time. It's one day. It's like
Yeah, and it's just, I don't know. Like, I think a lot of times, like, I think people just get fooled into thinking that these celebrities are just like perfect and lucky, but they're not. It's just
some of them are.
yeah, some of them are. Well, they're lucky because they have so much money.
Like
That-
Zendaya.
Yeah,
She's
they're
gorgeous.
yeah, she is. Most mixed girls are freaking gorgeous, though. They really are. But, yeah, it's like that money is what makes you lucky, though. Then you can have anything you want. Most people with money can be beautiful. All right. Anyway, we got a couple more minutes. Let's see if there's any more questions.
For me, you know, I still work out every week. I still prioritize my health, but there are other things in my life that do
Eat
take
half
a higher
the calories, and you're going to be very skinny.
But that doesn't matter to me.
Guaranteed.
That's the whole thing.
I'm not saying you need to. I'm just saying no one should make excuses.
And that's why I think that's why we all sat down. I totally agree. It's within my, because I've gotten really svelte in my past, but I was at like my worst state mentally. Like didn't feel good. Wasn't prioritizing the things that meant something to me in my life. My career, my family, my daughter. Health is still super important to me. That's why I still work out, still lift, still do cardio, still hike, still bike, still do all those things. The amount of time I've had to spend in the past to get to that isn't worth it in my daily life. I'd rather spend that time, you know,
I would say
focusing on
also, would you agree, like looking at his physique, like he's at a perfectly, I would say, maybe healthy.
No.
You think?
He's definitely overweight, definitely obese.
I mean, if you count BMI,
I'm not trying to put you
definitely-
down,
No,
just being honest.
By a BMI standpoint,
But there's a
I'm
big difference
absolutely
between
obese.
this weight and if you gain 200 pounds. But if you gain 200 pounds, I'd be like, why are you doing this to yourself? You know what I mean?
But I wouldn't be happy gaining 200 pounds. That's kind of what I'm saying. Is I kind of found kind of like a homeostasis where I'm happy and I feel healthy and I feel active and I feel like I can do what I need to do. All my numbers are in the right place, so I feel good. It's just it hasn't been a priority for me to go further.
Yeah, you don't need to. It's all about balance for me. Halfway
what
there.
about
Yeah.
you? I just want to hear. I was gonna say I was in the same boat as him. I feel like myself. I feel comfortable with where I'm at right now. I've lost 100 pounds.
Like
Morbidly obese, morbidly obese, morbidly obese, obese. That's what I would say.
I don't think
I would say obese, obese, morbidly obese, morbidly obese.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say morbidly obese.
Yeah.
No.
Yes, on the BMI charts, absolutely.
Okay, but I'm not talking about BMI charts. I'm talking about just like
I'm going by like BMI charts. What the BMI chart would say, and what a scale would say if you happen on the scale, what it would say.
but also like him in the front right there.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say I wouldn't say he's obese. I would just say he's fat. Like I wouldn't look at him and be like he's obese. No, I'd look at him and be like, yeah, he's a little fat.
That's because we're used to that in society now. But 20 years ago,
Okay, but yeah, also no one's gonna look at you and be like you're obese.
it,
No one is gonna look at you
I
and
look at
say
me
you're
and think
obese.
I'm obese.
But you're not though.
But I look at me and think I am. But I think that 20 years ago, a guy like him and a guy like me were obese. Like, big people did not exist 20 years ago. Like, it just didn't happen. I don't know, maybe there's some kind of chemicals in food or something.
Probably,
I don't know.
honestly.
Like, big people just did not exist like that. We were rarity.
Congrats.
I
man.
know, thanks. And I can keep going, that kind of stuff, but like doctor says everything's fine with you. You are obese, but I will never forget the doctor told me you're healthy obese, which was like blew my mind.
Healthy for being obese.
Yeah,
Probably.
so I needed just one health condition to qualify under health insurance for a weight loss supplement for them. I didn't qualify. I had no high blood pressure, didn't have diabetes, didn't have anything else. So I was like, okay, well, I just want to lose weight because obviously as I get older, it's not going to be like that. But I mean, perfectly, I know I had the control to get where I'm at right now or where I want to be, but I'm pretty happy. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. I feel like what's sustainable is different for everyone, right? I think there's a way to weave in fitness in your life in a sustainable manner that might not encompass you losing a ton of weight. I think people kind of have different stages in life where they're focusing on different things, and I think that's something I can completely respect.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, as long as you know that you have the agency to actually make that change,
Yeah.
when the time comes, when you want to do it, like I don't see anything wrong with that.
I was very curious, out of show of hands, who here feels like after spending time in this space, you feel like you're closer to understanding the other side than when we stepped in the room?
Okay, so that's the show.
That's kind of sad. How many people raise their hands?
I mean,
Not at all.
they're never gonna understand. Like, and
Yeah.
it's kind of disingenuous for the fit people to understand what the obese people, because they've never been in that position, so they would never really understand. The only one that understands is the nice guy, the nice, bodybuilder. That's the only fit in shape one that raises hand.
I kind
you
of
know?
love him though. He's great.
So the other ones are kind of like, no, I don't understand. But
I don't think they can ever really understand.
and the fat guys, it's disingenuous to say that they understand what it's like for the fit guys. I mean, they really don't. Like, they'll never
In a way,
understand,
they
really.
do though. They have some of the same views though. They look
Yeah,
at other fat
I guess
people and they
that's
see
true.
the exact same thing.
That's true.
They're
that's
just
true.
not thin.
Right.
They see the same thing. They feel the same thing.
Yeah, I guess because society normalizes
But skinny
thinness.
people don't
Right.
see and feel the same thing.
Right.
As the fat people.
Right. That's true.
It's like how like squares and rectangles, like they're one, like a rectangle is a square, but a square is a rectangle thing.
Yeah.
That thing.
I guess that does make sense.
It's like, they're just people, but
Just people.
yeah.
So thank you for joining me today.
Ooh, yeah.
So we'll be back, and we'll be doing another one of these little what do we call it now?
I guess reaction.
I guess a
videos.
reaction video. And I guess we're gonna do the female body one next time to see like a best body thing, or who has the best body. I'm curious to see what you think about that. I'll say which one I think has the best body from a gay man's perspective. All right, thank you guys for watching, and we'll talk to you guys next time.
Bye.
Peace.